Love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
5:11. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update is a service of Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount combining car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. Bundle and save at progressive.com. Kennedy inbound, mattress in a right-hand lane, tumbling off a vehicle just a bit ago. It's coming up traffic inbound at Fullerton this morning. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, one lane closed southbound between Irving Park and North Avenue with ongoing road work. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast with Steve Williams.
Some clouds and sunshine today. Warmer, less humid day. High 76. Clear tonight, low 56. And then sunny to partly cloudy for tomorrow. The high again, 76. Clouds and sun, breezy, terrific on Friday. The high at 74. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
Mostly cloudy and 60 at O'Hare, 61 at Midway. Fog in Joliet and 59. Your next news update, 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, now open on 159th Street in Lockport. Bettenhausen has your ticket to anywhere. Hurry in and get huge savings off MSRP on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee or Jeep Compass. Bettenhausen has big savings on a new Ram 1500 or new Chrysler Pacifica. Bettenhausen has the Midwest's best selection. Choose from over 900 vehicles with no hassle and no haggle. Showroom never closes at cdjroflockport.com.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel. Home to the biggest shows on TV, like Sebastian Gorka, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by Stacey Washington at 5. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free now on Xumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Xumo.
Quick delivery service. What do you need delivered today?
Hi, I'm trying to work through a last-minute to-do list for my boss. Can you deliver a hard drive to the Loop in Chicago?
We can deliver that today.
Okay, can you deliver 20 boxes to a client in Rockford?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver 12 pallets of tile to our customer in Naperville?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver a large envelope to Northbrook?
We can deliver that today.
Oh my gosh, I think my water just broke. Can you...
We cannot deliver that.
Quick Delivery Service delivers your package no matter the size. More than just a messenger service, Quick Delivery Service is a messenger and trucking service that can also provide scheduled routes for your daily delivery or your air shipment. Trucks are equipped to handle the load and provide ground-level service for same-day delivery. The Quick Delivery Service team of safe, licensed professionals can provide quick door-to-door service for your special delivery. QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. We deliver that today. But we don't deliver this.
I'm worried about Mom. She's having a tough time moving around the house.
Oh, I know. She still thinks she can do everything on her own.
Exactly, but I've been over there every day this week, helping her navigate the stairs, cooking meals, reminding her to take her medicine. I'm always nervous when I leave.
You know what? I admire you for taking care of Mom. But your family needs you too. And what if she slips and falls? A friend recommended the caregivers at Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. They service Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will counties. They guarantee compatibility and they'll conduct a free safety assessment of her home. Plus, they'll provide as little or as much care as Mom needs.
Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest, offering both hourly and live-in care. Schedule a free assessment today by calling 331-281-0728. That's 331-281-0728. Again, that's 331-281-0728. And tell them AM 560 sent you. Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. Senior care, only better.
If you own or run a business and you listen to AM 560, you might not realize that the conservative programming that you enjoy is supported by advertisers. Our loyal listeners love to do business with the advertisers they hear every day on AM 560. Now, it probably won't surprise you that there are some businesses who avoid advertising with us because they don't like what we do here. And that's okay, because our audience wants to support businesses that support what we do and think like we think. We would love to have you join the list of successful companies who are already reaching new, like-minded customers. Most AM 560 advertisers have been here for years for one simple reason: they get results. Join our efforts to make a difference in the lives of our listeners who are passionate about supporting our great family of AM 560 advertisers. To learn more, just visit 560theanswer.com/advertise. That's 560theanswer.com/advertise.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gay Vallis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Hi, this is Carl Amari.
I'm Lisa Wolf. Join us every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. for all things entertainment on Hollywood 360.
If you love classic radio shows, The Shadow, Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, Gunsmoke, and many more, we have them for you on Hollywood 360.
We'll also present trivia contests with prizes, showbiz news, celebrity interviews, games, and movie reviews.
So don't miss Hollywood 360 every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
Protecting and growing your retirement assets can be complicated. From asset and legacy protection to retirement income and extended care, you need a plan. Mark Kohler, host of Retirement and Income Radio, heard Sundays at 11 a.m., helps retirees in or near retirement protect their accounts from market volatility. Mark can help you create lifetime guaranteed, inflation-hedged income. Call Mark today at 844-619-SAFE. That's 844-619-7233. And listen this Sunday at 11 a.m. to Retirement and Income Radio.
Balance of Nature supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a doctor myself. I've used it and I've turned a lot of my patients onto it as well. It's a good product.
I've actually taken the bottles up to him, and my doctor, he tells me, keep doing it.
I am 87 years old, and I am an RN, and my PhD work is in anatomy and physiology. I watched your advertisement on TV, and I thought, I'll try it for just a month. I have stayed on it. Just think it is a marvelous product.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. What a good morning it is.
It is.
I have a big announcement to make today at 8:45 a.m. So everybody, please, if you're going to come back, go do your things. Come back at 8:45. It's going to be fantastic. I see you're wearing your bling today.
Yep, yeah, I am. I chose violence today.
You chose what?
Violence today.
You chose violence?
Yeah, that's a comedian that says this.
Oh.
About, he said people that put anything on that's Trump related, they got to choose violence when they walk out the door.
Oh, because you're triggering people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, let me see what you're wearing. Oh, did somebody give you that?
Yeah, Karen from the boat cruise.
But from the Trump store in Huntley.
Yes, that's what she got it from.
I hope that place is doing well.
I think it is. I mean, you see a lot of people there, so.
I've been in McHenry County more than I've cared to mention this summer, but no, it was fine. And then I see it every time, and there's always some action going on there.
Yeah.
You know who's making action happen?
Who's that?
Who's helping the world?
Uh-oh.
Our good friend Scott Pressler.
Yes.
We need Scott Pressler in every single swing state. That's what we have to have.
I agree.
He's flipping it one county at a time, and here he is outside of Trump's event that he had in Indiana, Pennsylvania yesterday.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. I'm here in Indiana County for the Trump rally, and as you can see, people are still lining up. It does not matter that we're having a little bit of rain. That will not stop us from seeing President Donald J. Trump. And I have breaking news for you. We have flipped Luzerne County from blue to red. This is monumental. This is earth-shattering. This is earthquaking. 4 years ago, there were 24,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans, and now there is a plurality of registered Republicans. The quote-unquote backyard of Joe Biden has been flipped to Republican. Nothing is going to stop this train. You register to vote at your current address. You make a plan to vote for Donald J. Trump. Let's deliver Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. Let's go.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You can also text us on that same line. That's proof that
love that guy.
One man can make a difference. And he's tall. He's a big dude. Can you imagine him coming knocking at your door?
Yeah,
but he makes me want to do more for Trump.
Do so.
Because when I think about Kamala Harris, she was so inept and incompetent and just a liar.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, she's a fraud.
Yeah. Everything they say Trump is.
Right. But when I think about her possibly becoming president, because, folks, it's possible.
Yes.
This can happen.
Yes.
Her and Tim Walz together.
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. So what more can we do? I mean, I'm taking a few people to not to register to vote. No, actually, same day registration, and then they're voting. First time voters. A few of my youngest son's friends. What else
Become
can I do?
an election judge.
Then I can't work here.
Oh,
I've always thought about doing that, and I've wanted to do it.
What about a poll watcher?
After work?
Yeah.
Well, what am I going to do? Walk around like this? Hello, sir. What are you doing? You should be voting for Trump. No, what do poll watchers exactly do? How does that work?
Well, they watch the polls.
Well, I do my part. I do my civic duty. I bring in pens. Remember?
You do? Do you bring
remember
donuts?
those pens that were bleeding through the ballots?
Oh yeah.
I think that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I brought a bunch of black ballpoint pens from here.
Wow.
And laid them gently down on the table and said, "Why don't you use this? Because it's not bleeding through the ballot." Because that election day, we had so many phone calls from people saying that. They were voting for candidates and judges they didn't want to because when you flipped over the ballot, it bled through to the other side.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then they were using Sharpies too.
Yeah, that's the year of the Sharpie.
Yeah,
it wasn't the big thick Sharpie; it was the thin Sharpie.
Right.
So, yes.
But you can do it. You can be a poll watcher. You're just basically there to observe, make sure there's no shenanigans. I mean, Chicago has no Republican poll watchers, and they don't have a lot of election judges, so. Guess who's observing those Chicago elections? Democrats. Democrat hacks.
How do you think they're going to try and steal the election this time, though? I mean, early voting has begun. Early voting begins tomorrow in parts of Illinois. And then October 8th for Chicago
Yeah.
in Cook County.
Well, it's going to kind of be hard in some of those states where they put that they laid down the law as it relates to election integrity. You know, they won't be able to shift. I mean, Illinois has a permanent mail by ballot. I didn't do it. I can't do it. I got to go. I'm telling you, if you please go vote early, but it's just something about going on election day for me.
Yeah.
You know,
You
to
wake
go and
up,
vote.
you want to, yeah.
I want to go vote. Early
I know,
that
but
morning.
they keep saying, vote, mail-in ballots.
Yes, do it.
Start sending those now.
Yes, do it.
Vote early.
Yes, do it. I mean, my 18-year-old daughter. We were talking yesterday. Her and her cousin, who's eligible to vote too. I'm not voting for. I don't care about none of them.
I hate that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I told my daughter. I said, listen, you're gonna vote. I don't care who you vote for. I prefer. This is the list of people I would want you to vote for.
Oh, you gave your daughter a list?
Yeah, I'm gonna give her one.
Okay.
But it's like, I don't. If you don't vote for the people that I want to vote, just vote.
Yeah.
You know, get into a habit. This will be her first time voting.
Right.
You
I remember I took my kid. I made them when Paul Vallis was running.
Yeah.
I bribed my children. Anybody else do that? 312-642-5600. Well, I didn't bribe them. I mean, I provided
I know what you're saying.
food of their choice
Right.
for the day.
Right.
Which is something that,
Yeah.
they weren't sure about. But they walked in there and the election judges or the people that were there were stand out. They stood up and
Right.
clapped, thinking like, we've got more Democrats because they're Hispanics.
Yeah.
Oh, Susie, look who's registering to vote. Tim, look over here. And they, honestly, I'm not kidding you. Every person in that room stood up and started clapping.
Yeah. You know, it would be interesting to see Scott Presler come here in the state of Illinois and do what he's done in Pennsylvania here in Illinois.
And literally, is he just waking up every morning and
Every day. That's his sole focus. And he has the backing of the RNC, Lara Trump. She's one of his biggest cheerleaders.
Well, how's he going to be rewarded in the end?
I'm sure his operation is
Yeah, they're getting paid.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. But how large is his operation?
Look at what he's done in Pennsylvania. I mean, I'm sure he has.
He changed Beaver County,
Yes.
Allegheny County.
Yes.
I mean, there's the ones that he
Yes.
just mentioned there.
Yes.
Luzerne County.
He's doing God's work. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Imagine if that tact was done in all states that are blue. A lot of people. Illinois isn't so much blue; it's purple, because when you look at outside of the four major counties that can win an election, it's solid red.
Everything past south of I-80.
And then you got St. Clair County. I mean, you have Winnebago County, which flips blue. Remember, Quinn only won 4 counties to become governor against Bill Brady.
Really?
4 counties. Bill Brady won
race was
98
so-
counties.
What was the final count in that race? Was it?
98 counties to 4.
Oh my God.
Think about that. That's 4 counties and you could become an elected statewide official.
But
That
that
means
lasted
the
only
numbers
one
are there,
term.
Amy. I don't know if you've been watching Tom DeVore, but Tom DeVore's been laying out the numbers.
And is Tom DeVore a good guy or bad guy?
Well, he's my
Because
guy.
I need a list. I can't keep up.
Yeah, he's
Good
my guy.
Republicans, bad Republicans.
Yeah, he's
What
my
is he
guy.
on?
He's my guy.
He's your
So,
guy?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but he's been laying out the numbers. My good friend John Reeves, he's been doing it for decades. And finally, the Republican Party is starting to listen to his strategy because the numbers are there, Amy. The problem is we don't have the workers. We don't have the apparatus that the Democrat Party has. We just simply don't. We don't have the money to do what they do.
But one thing I've noticed, there's not. Remember when Hillary ran against Trump? Never saw. I saw. I think one Hillary Clinton bumper sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was still Bernie Sanders because all of Chicago they wanted Bernie.
Yeah.
All the socialists were in for Bernie.
Yeah.
I've only seen 2 Harris signs.
Really? I've seen
2
a few.
in Chicago.
Oh,
just not bumper stickers, but I'm just saying,
Yard
the
signs.
old yard signs.
Yeah.
And one was Biden Harris that's still up, which
You
makes
know the
me
problem
laugh.
though? Today they're selling the yard signs.
Oh.
I remember when the yard signs were just given away. Now they're.
Well, how much is a yard sign?
I think it's anywhere between $5 to $10, depending on where you're at.
Doesn't the money go to the campaign?
Well, it goes to the whatever, like if it's a township,
Yeah.
they take in the money to
Okay.
do election-related activities.
But I wonder who has the cojones to put a Trump sign up in Chicago.
It'll
was
get
a-
torn down.
Well, wasn't there a Trump tree I think it was in Bucktown. Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody on the south side put a mural up of Trump. So, I mean, there it is.
Right.
On 70th and something, right?
70, what was it?
Yeah, 70th and something.
Has that been graffitied over yet?
I'm sure it has. And then, you have the West Siders, what's Patricia?
Uh-huh.
She's doing, I'm sure she has a Trump sign in her yard. So she's not afraid. She's fearless.
Oh, I wish I could be fearless, but I'm going to be fearless soon. The clock is ticking. All right, coming up, excuse me, on Chicago's Morning Answer, Vivek Ramaswamy debunking that women are bleeding out in parking lots. Yes, abortion talk early. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
It's 5:30 on AM 560, The Answer. We have clear skies this morning and 59 degrees. And topping our news this morning, the Senate finds the Secret Service is facing numerous problems, keeping it from doing its job effectively. The 94-page report finds that a number of failures in security, planning, and communication directly contributed to the July assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump at a Pennsylvania rally. The report cites a lack of chain of command, poor coordination with local law enforcement, and inadequate resources. Tropical storm Helene forcing NASA to change its plans this morning. The space agency says the crewed SpaceX launch scheduled for Thursday has been pushed back to September 28th. Vice President Harris and former President Trump have agreed to two separate town halls next month, hosted by Univision journalist Enrique Acevedo, who field audience questions from reportedly undecided Hispanic voters. Trump will have his town hall October 8 in Miami. And the former president talking economy in Savannah, Georgia.
On Tuesday, Trump told his supporters he wants to take other countries' jobs.
We'll create millions and millions of jobs, massively raise wages for American workers, and make the United States into a manufacturing powerhouse like it used to be many years ago.
Trump said he'll unlock the energy potential in the U.S. by allowing for more drilling and fracking. He also said he'll keep the U.S. auto industry strong by putting a 100% tariff on every car manufactured in Mexico. Meanwhile, reports say that Vice President Kamala Harris will talk more about her economic plans during a visit to Pittsburgh on Wednesday afternoon. I'm Mark Mayfield.
No one is in custody this morning following a deadly shooting on Chicago's west side. Police say a man began arguing with two others in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. Both offenders pulled out guns and shot the man. He was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Detectives continue to investigate. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez is refusing to resign in spite of being asked to do so by Mayor Brandon Johnson. In an opinion piece in the Chicago Tribune, Martinez says Johnson did ask for that resignation last week, but he chose not to resign because it could create a leadership vacuum and instability in the middle of contract talks. Chicago's Mexican community yesterday rallied around Martinez.
I ask all the other Mexicans out there that are listening, watching, let's come home. Let's bring unity here and stand with Pedro Martinez.
More juvenile detainees are making claims they were sexually abused at youth centers across Illinois.
The employees of the Cook County beat me, threatened me, and sexually abused me. I wouldn't wish my situation on anybody. I hope that justice is granted for the pain and suffering we all went through as kids.
3 new lawsuits brought by more than 200 plaintiffs describe a culture of sexual abuse at juvenile detention centers between 1996 and 2021. Jerome Block and other attorneys say they believe they know who perpetrated the attacks.
In these hundreds of cases of childhood sexual abuse at Illinois juvenile detention centers, we have identified more than 30 staff member perpetrators.
The state has to begin prosecuting these individuals. We have provided names, we have provided detailed information.
This is the latest in a series of lawsuits filed this past year. Cubs got a big performance from Cody Bellinger in a 10-4 blowout win over the Phillies. Drew Smyly earning the win in relief. The White Sox avoid being on the wrong side of history for at least one more game, topping the Angels 3-2. And the Blackhawks begin preseason play when they host the Red Wings at the UC tonight. The news, a service of Quick Delivery Service. Visit quickdelivery.com when you need same-day delivery of your routes, ground delivery when you need it from safe, licensed professionals. Go to quickdelivery.com now to schedule your delivery. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk sees a secret weapon.
Donald Trump's secret weapon is not his rallies, it's not his base, it is the question of justice. What is just? And Donald Trump, in his own way, makes the argument that you, the citizen, should not have a lower standard of life so a foreigner can get freebies.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan Proft here for Northridge Prep. Northridge Prep is a great place to be a boy. What does that mean exactly? In short, it's thanks to a foundation of an all-boys environment that builds your son up into a man of intellect and character who loves God. The teachers and faculty members become mentors to students. And when you combine that with an atmosphere that's fun, competitive, and challenging, it creates an exceptional experience for your son. And the result is that the boys just love Northridge. They've been educating boys for nearly 50 years. And one of the things that stands out to me is their commitment to partnering with parents. Now, you hear this a lot with schools, but at Northridge, the parents can't stop talking about it. They built a community that really works together. Raising kids is difficult these days, and at Northridge, you can be confident your son is on the right path. They're having an open house on Sunday, October 20th, for boys in grades 6 through 12. Register today at northridgeprep.org. Again, that's Sunday, October 20th. Register at northridgeprep.org.
It's your life, your legacy. Shouldn't it be your choice? For nearly 2 centuries, Catholic Cemetery Chicago has been a haven for families, offering sacred spaces to honor these legacies. Take an active role by pre-planning your final arrangements. Alleviate your loved ones a future financial burden. Lock in today's prices and take advantage of no interest payments and no hidden fees. Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
Chicagoland certified financial planning professional Tim Stearns discusses taxes in retirement.
Most people are paying more in taxes and keeping less of their money to live and do what they enjoy. That's why we've put out the Retirement Tax Bill Calculator online. You can see with your own eyes just how much you might be overpaying. It's a valuable tool, $500 value, but we made it free for you to view and run your own numbers at MVPCFP.com. That's MVPCFP.com.
To run your retirement tax bill calculator, go to MVPCFP.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Cornerstone Securities, LLC.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
5:37. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update on the roads, a service of Valdecas Windows for the discerning homeowner looking for high quality and professional level window replacement service. Contact Valdecas Windows, your award-winning platinum elite Pella certified contractor. Valdecas.com. Southside just happened this morning. 26th Street between Wentworth and Wabash shut down completely due to police activity. They are rerouting CTA buses right now, all because of a shooting investigation. Again, 26 between Wentworth and Wabash shut down. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, road work through 6 a.m. southbound between Irving Park and North Avenue. Report of an accident, left shoulder inbound Bishop Ford, somewhere between 130th and 111th. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Warmer, less humid, some clouds and sunshine, high 76. Clear and 56 overnight. Partly cloudy and 58 right now. 59 at Midway, 52 in Aurora. And your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560. The Answer.
All right, good. What day? I don't even know what day it is.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Hump day.
Wednesday. Fun day.
Hump day.
Oh, yeah. Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Was that with Geico?
Was it Geico?
I can't remember. Well, we have some more lives from Kamala.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it's not bad enough she says she worked at McDonald's when she didn't work at McDonald's.
For a long time, she's been talking about her experience at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's over the French fries. It was so hot. I think I'm going to go to a McDonald's next week someplace. I'm going to go. Might not be in your place. I'm going to go to a McDonald's, and I'm going to work the French fry job for about a half an hour. I want to see how it is. But she said she worked and she grew up in terrible conditions. She worked at McDonald's. It was such. She never worked there. And these fake news reporters will never report it. They don't want to report it because they're fake. They're fake. They don't want to report it. She never worked at McDonald's, but it was a big part of her resume. They went to the different places. Did she work here? Did she work here? Did she work here? She said, we don't know who the hell she is. Leave us alone. We're making hamburgers. We will end the invasion of small-town Pennsylvania, and we will end the destruction of America. It's destroying our country. This country
And then he
is
went
going
on
to
and
be
talked
better.
got back on focus. But she did. She said in August, she released a campaign ad that noted she worked at the fast food chain while she was in college.
Yeah.
And I remember telling my mom this, and my mom's like, Amy, you got to be careful. Yeah. Like, well, would it be careful? She didn't work at McDonald's, and McDonald's says she didn't work at McDonald's.
Right. Oh, so they've come out?
Yeah, well, this is months ago, but it's just another reminder of all the lies she spread. Yeah. And on Friday, she was in Georgia claiming that 2 women died because of their strict abortion laws. Yeah. And one of the women was Amber Nicole Thurman, 28. She died in August of 2022. That was 2 years ago. And she suffered a fatal injection after taking abortion pills that did not expel the fetal tissue from her body. But she got those abortion pills mailed to her because of the Biden-Harris policies that allowed abortion drugs to be sent through the mail.
So from China, probably.
Well, yeah, and you should have been, and Harris got out there and just, claimed that this could have been prevented. This is murder.
But you see, under the Trump abortion ban, her doctors could have faced up to a decade.
That's not true.
In prison for providing Amber the care she needed. Understand what a law like this means. Doctors have to wait until the patient is at death's door before they take action,
¿Cómo?
Yeah, it was a lie. Doctors could have helped her. In 2021, under the Harris-Biden administration, the FDA lifted the requirements that abortion medication be obtained in person. So these medical abortions, that's what they did outside the DNC in that trailer. Because I stood there for hours waiting for the director to come out, knowing that she wasn't going to come out. They weren't actually performing abortion. They were giving them these pills to take.
So like the next day pill, basically.
Yeah, it's similar to that, but it's a little more intense. So, and doctors could have helped. And then also at this press conference, she was again repeating that women are bleeding out in parking lots of doctors' offices and abortion clinics that are closed. And Vivek Ramaswamy.
I love him.
Oh, yeah. He hit back hard with Casey Hunt. Come on, Vivek.
Somewhere.
Can you play this, Justin, for us, please?
Hello, Vivek.
Let's see if that works. Okay, let's try it one more time.
We need to speak about stone-cold hard truths and have that debate, even when it's uncomfortable in the open. That's how I think we're going to save the country. It's a big part of why I wrote this book. And I also think that I'd like to see that standard applied a little more even-handedly across the board. In that same debate, you had Kamala Harris making the claim also repeatedly, many times since, that women are bleeding out in parking lots. when there isn't a shred of evidence of a single woman
Well,
bleeding out
there
in the
was
parking lot
actually
of
a
a
woman
hospital?
who died in Georgia who, because there were two women, in fact, one in particular who couldn't receive the care that she needed.
There's no evidence of a woman bleeding out in a parking lot. My point is the kind of rhetoric that's used
have
across
you seen
the
evidence
board,
of Haitian
we should apply
migrants
it
eating
even-handed.
pets? Like, if
See,
we're going
look
to
at
talk
her
about
try to
evidence, have you seen
pivot.
evidence of Haitian migrants eating pets?
Who is this?
Having gone to Springfield, I didn't see that evidence, but what I will tell you is I'm bringing that up because you brought up the Haitian migrant point. There are residents in the community that have pointed to that. There isn't even that level of a shred of evidence to support a single woman in the United States bleeding out in a parking lot, yet that's been a repeated claim made by Kamala Harris. So I think when we're getting into fact-checking, I think we should apply the same standards 360 degrees. And I think we should not use Kamala Harris's quote there to sidestep a debate about abortion policy.
Right. Exactly.
Don't you love it how they're not winning the argument? Then all of a sudden they're eating dogs and cats in Ohio.
Well, that's how they always
Which
do.
we've
That's what they
survived
always
3 days on the show without mentioning that.
do. The dogs, they're eating the dog.
No,
They're
no,
eating
no.
the cats.
No, then I'll start singing the darn song.
Okay.
But I'm just so sick of the mainstream media just on board with Kamala Harris. And by the way, under Georgia law, doctors were not forbidden from operating on Thurman to remove that tissue.
So that reporter or anchor couldn't do her due diligence to find that out herself?
No.
Yeah.
And this
carrying
is
water.
coming from CBS.
Yeah.
This is not coming from the New York Post or, Wall Street Journal even. It's just, it's the facts.
Right.
But she's just a single issue woman. I'm so sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
And
well, it resonates, though. It works. The last election, the 2022 election, how did a lot of these candidates win? What did they hang around the neck of Republicans? Abortion. It works because people feel like the government is taking over. I mean, it is not allowed to. Well, it's taken over, especially with the Roe v. Wade overturn. People are afraid.
Well, I'm really worried about the women's vote and undecideds because according to NBC News poll that came out yesterday, a huge gender gap, Kamala Harris has a 21-point lead ahead of Trump.
That's
expected. But if you take a look at 2016, the gender gap was narrower. With Hillary had 54, Trump had 39%. So out on the campaign trail is our favorite. Who's our favorite?
It's a lot of them.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yes, I love her.
And she reminds women what we need to do.
I think moments like we saw in that grocery store at the Chick-fil-A with the little boy are going to be things that help him close that gap. But I also think one of the big things that drives me crazy about the left is they try to single women down to one issue, when at the end of the day, we care about whether or not we have a strong and good economy, whether or not our neighborhoods and our streets are safe, whether or not there's chaos around the world, and we have two different people with two very different records, one that has a record of success and has a great story to tell, and then Vice President Harris, who has literally failed on everything that voters find important. And I think ultimately when people step in and cast their votes in November, that's going to be what pushes Donald Trump.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he's so good at connecting with people. I don't know if you saw him yesterday in Pennsylvania. He walked into a grocery store, grabs a big bag of popcorn, throws it to one of his guys like, yeah, we'll buy this. And then this lady is a mom.
Yeah, I saw
is
that.
checking out, and he just throws her $100, and he says, "I'm going to do this for every American."
Wow.
And I thought that was perfect. And I
Yes.
got the chills when he said it. I said, "Yes."
Yes.
Because we need lower costs.
Everything.
We need everything from gas to auto insurance. My auto insurance went up, and not because of the ticket I got the other day. By the way, they don't know
Are you going
about
to
that.
class?
Yeah, I'm going to go to driving school and whatever.
Good.
But everything's gone up.
Yeah.
Your electric bill, your water bill. Your
Everything.
insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your
Eggs,
property
bacon.
taxes, eggs, bacon.
Bacon.
I even went to, Hammond again. I always go to Indiana whenever I can. And eggs there is $3.
Yeah. But bacon. Did I say bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's one of my favorite foods, bacon. And the price of it, for 12 pieces, $10, Amy. Over $10 in some parts.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
that's so
I love
bad.
I love that thick cut bacon with the peppercorn on it.
Oh, yeah,
goodness.
yeah. Oh, here you're going back to
Yeah,
food
that's
again.
like
You did this to me
$14.
yesterday,
It's like
too.
14. Hey, but I don't know if I think the audio may be a little too long because you're talking about Kamala lying. Candace Owens went there about her birth parents, her grandma, and Candace said that she lied about her grandmother because apparently there's a a photo that she put in her book that Kamala said it was her grandmother. Well, it was alleged that her grandmother died before Kamala was born, but Kamala's saying that this woman is her grandmother.
Oh,
she went down a rabbit hole. I'm just telling you.
I'm not going down rabbit holes. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. But her greatness, the Queen Kamala,
I'm
is going to
talking
be
about the lie, though.
Okay.
I'm saying,
right.
If it's what's alleged is to be the truth, that continues her lying.
Where are reporters or even Inside Edition tracking down her dad, who's at Stanford?
No,
that's like a turkey shoot. I mean, he's walking in and out of classes. Yeah. So why isn't
They're not going to talk to him. He's not going to talk to anybody.
Yeah, but there's not even video of him.
Yeah, he's not going to do it.
Where's video of Crook's family's home?
Yeah.
The first shooter?
Yeah.
Where's that?
You're not going to get it.
Why?
You saw the dad. That was that one when you talking about walking. The dad was out walking somewhere. I don't know if he's coming from the police station, wherever he was coming from, but they were interviewing the dad, and he just, he was like, just looked at him like, get out of my face, basically.
So Kamala is going to do what Trump did yesterday. Trump yesterday, he did a great job. He was in Savannah, Georgia. Laser focus on the economy, because it was all about the economy.
We will have, ready, no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. The word tariff, properly used, is a beautiful word. Under my leadership, we're going to take other countries' jobs. By contrast, listen to the deal, Kamala Harris. Have you heard of her? This woman is grossly incompetent. Grossly incompetent. She's called the tax queen. They love her in other countries because she forces everybody out of our country into their hands.
And he wants to reduce corporate taxes on companies from 21% to 15% if they make their goods in the United States.
What's wrong with that?
100% tariff on cars made in Mexico. And now he's threatening John Deere that if they move their plant to Mexico, $200,000. So
200%.
200%, excuse me. Did I say 200? 200% tariff.
And I don't think he'll do it. It's just, but the threat of it, that's what he was doing to China right before we got attacked with COVID.
Right.
He was threatening this to China, and China's not used to being threatened by an American president.
Oh no,
they're not used
he's
to that.
Strong.
We roll over.
But so Kamala guess what she's doing today?
What's that?
Doing a big economic speech in Georgia today, like following in the footsteps. And then on Friday, guess where she's going?
Where?
She's going to the border. The border.
Is she actually going to go to the border this time?
Actually is going to go to the border. And Trump, of course, because the commercials that she has when she's talking about the border, that's his border wall. Yeah. Nobody's sneaking into the country in that footage because that's Trump's border wall.
After almost 4 years, border czar Kamala Harris has decided for political reasons that it's time for her to go to the border. She's trying to con the public that she did a good job at the border. When Kamala is seen at the border on Friday, she will pass hundreds of miles of wall that was built by Trump, and it's wall that really works.
312-642-5600.
You remember the movie Backdraft?
Yes, I do.
You remember, they were
filmed in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were firefighters, and they were the ones actually causing the fires and then going to put them out.
Right.
That reminds me of Kamala. She's the backdraft of politics, I'm telling you.
Dave in Wakanda, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Good morning, Amy and John.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Great. A little gas, but I'm okay.
But he has his bling on, so everything's
That's
okay.
right.
Can people see your bling, by the way?
Bling is good.
Yeah, okay.
It's a little choke.
Go
I
ahead,
don't know
Dave.
why we get involved. I don't know why we get involved with the abortion issue. We all know that women are emotional about that. We just got to let that go and let them deal with that at the end of their life and meet their maker and then understand thou shalt not kill. And just focus on the issues that matter to people, the economy, your life going forward, crime, safety. All those things have to be picture for the people out there. Quit going to the emotional side of things because that's all she's got. She'll pivot to that every time she's in a losing discussion about it.
Yep, so true. Thanks, David, for the phone call. Appreciate it. Quickly, let's go to Craig in Mount Greenwood. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, good morning, Amy, and good morning, Jen. Hey, thanks for taking my call. It's really disgusting how in 2016, the same now, Trump would win by a landslide. But all the cheating in all various ways, it's not just one way. It's not just the machines. It's all the mail-in ballots. It's all kinds of shenanigans. And we have to put up with it, and we should talk more and more and more about how we have to win by so much more because of the cheating, and to emphasize, because we're being cheated against, the media and all the, even our justice system. They don't come out and basically take the cases to try to correct these things in different places, and we ought to really make that known and constantly stick it out there for people to realize we got to go so much over as far as getting out and voting because of the cheating. I mean, don't you think that would help by emphasizing it out to the public?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People are expecting it. That's why Trump's got it. He can't just win. He's got to win big.
Yes.
Just in case they do cheat.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. The union that represents IRS employees has just endorsed Kamala Harris, and it's not surprising. Along with President Biden, she's delivered $80 billion in new funding and 80,000 new agents to scour Americans' tax returns. She's done a lot for them with your tax money. In the end, that's what's alarming about government unions endorsing candidates in the first place. Politicians earn their support by supporting big government through spending your money. In return, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats become their supporters. It's a cozy arrangement for everyone but the people who pay for it, you and me. Federal bureaucrats are supposed to work not for politicians, but for the American people. That means they're supposed to serve whomever we elect, fairly and without favoritism. These endorsements reveal the naked truth. Instead, government workers have become partisans. It's a dishonest system, and it needs reform.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gave Alice, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel. Home to the biggest shows on TV, like Dennis Prager, weekdays at noon Eastern, followed by Jay and Jordan Sekulow at 2. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free now on Xumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Xumo.
AM 560, The Answer.
Well, Kamala hasn't been seen in 4 days, so Dougie, her hubby, so sexy, so hot. He's just a sex kitten.
Don't know about that.
Well, yeah. She was out campaigning for her.
Sometimes I'd hear where's Kamala? What's Kamala been up to? What is she doing? And I'd
take it, just take a deep breath, because, well, she's been doing a lot. She's been doing a lot of things that are solving problems that matter to you and the rest of this country. She's dealing with the thorniest national security issues in the Situation Room.
Oh, yeah, right.
And thorniest issues in the Oval Office with the president.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
She has.
Who? What president? All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, new video. Guess who supported legalizing prostitution? But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
CPD investigating a Little Italy murder. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Targeting Tel Aviv. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. Israel's military says it's intercepted a missile heading toward the city and taken out the missile launcher in Lebanon with an airstrike.
For the first time ever, Hezbollah launched what it claims is a long-range ballistic missile at Tel Aviv, sending millions of Israelis into bomb shelters this morning. An interceptor from Israel's David Sling system collided with the incoming missile just after 6:30 this morning. Hezbollah claims it targeted Mossad's spy agency headquarters as retaliation for Israel's assassination of its leaders and exploding the group's communication devices last week.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv, Israel. Tropical storm Helene is getting stronger on the way to Florida's west coast. There are mandatory evacuation orders in effect with landfall forecast tomorrow.
We're anticipating Helene to become a major hurricane, taking aim on Florida's Big Bend and bringing widespread impacts for much of the state. Life-threatening storm surge, hurricane-force winds, power outages, over a foot of rain, and tropical tornadoes, all possible ahead of the storm as it moves inland tomorrow. Also important to note that the effects will be felt from the southeast up into the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys as the system is expected to stall over the weekend.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. People ordered to leave their homes because of a rail car leak in Whitewater Township, Ohio, may find out this morning if they're allowed to return.
The chemical venting from the Genesee and Wyoming Railroad tanker car was styrene, a flammable gas that can be fatal if inhaled.
If you're feeling physical effects and you feel concerned, I would call emergency service, call 911.
Little Miami Fire Chief Mike Sifke. The leak stopped by Tuesday afternoon, but not firefighter concerns. They've been monitoring the tanker car and using water to cool it down.
Fox's Carmen Roberts. Vice President Harris campaigns in Pennsylvania today. Former President Trump in North Carolina. America's listening to Fox News.
57 degrees, 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. There is no one in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's west side. Police say a man began arguing with two other people yesterday in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. Offenders pulled out guns and shot the man. One man was killed, another critically injured in a shooting outside of a popular hot dog stand in the city's Little Italy neighborhood. Chicago police report the shooting occurred last night around 10:29 near the Jim's Original hot dog stand in the 1200 block of South Union. A man was shot in the face, transported to Stroger Hospital, and later died. A 19-year-old man was dropped off at Rush Hospital, later transferred to Stroger in critical condition. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez refusing to resign, despite being asked to step down by Mayor Brandon Johnson. In an opinion piece in the Chicago Tribune, Martinez says Johnson did ask for the resignation, but he chose not to resign. And Chicago's Mexican community is rallying around Martinez.
I ask all the other Mexicans out there that are listening, watching, let's come home. Let's bring unity here and stand with Pedro Martinez.
The CPS CEO also disputed rumors he plans to close schools, adding he'll propose a resolution not to close schools through July 1st of 2026. More former juvenile detainees are making claims they were sexually abused at youth centers across Illinois.
The employees of the Cook County beat me, threatened me, and sexually abused me. I wouldn't wish my situation on anybody. I hope that justice is granted for the pain and suffering we all went through as kids.
3 new lawsuits brought by more than 200 plaintiffs describe a culture of sexual abuse at Illinois juvenile detention centers between 1996 and 2021. Cubs got a big performance from Cody Bellinger, 3 for 5 with 4 RBI in a 10-4 win over the Phillies. White Sox avoid being on the wrong side of history for at least one more day, beating the Angels 3-2. On the ice, Blackhawks and Red Wings in the NHL preseason tonight. The news a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations, combining heritage and innovation in every cup. Hot air roasted locally, cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Online at papanicholas.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is, Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world one life at a time.
I love the product because I'm already here at almost 80 knocking on my door. When I started taking Balance of Nature, I'm telling you, it wasn't a month after that, maybe 2 months after that, I started really feeling the difference.
I love Balance of Nature. I will take it to the day I die. It's wonderful. I feel so much better. I'm telling everybody about it, and I just feel better. I mean, it's just amazing how much better I feel on this stuff. I got excited about the product because I started feeling better. They asked me, does it work? I said, yes, it works. You got to try it. It will work.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com and get this special offer by using discount code Chicago.
6:07. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Let's start on the Tri-State. Southbound, right after Route 132, better known as Grand Avenue. Accident both shoulders this morning, causing lots of stop-and-look delays. I-80, Will County, westbounders, you're all jammed up. Hobart through I-55. And it's John Howell's favorite time of year. Bridge lifts beginning over the Chicago River. Just a reminder, that's between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Traffic, a service of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners. Chicago needs election judges for the November 5th presidential election. Earn between $170 and $230 for your service. Pollworker.chicagoelections.gov to learn more and apply. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Some clouds and sunshine today. Warmer, less humid day. High 76. Clear tonight, low 56. And then sunny to partly cloudy for tomorrow. The high again, 76. Clouds and sun, breezy, terrific on Friday. The high at 74. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
57 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Legalizing prostitution. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, and for Dan Proft. Yeah, that is something Kamala Harris was behind. All for it when she was running for president back in 2020. And unearthed video voicing her support for legalizing prostitution, another issue that she's now refusing to talk about. Here she is.
Do you think that sex work ought to be decriminalized?
I think so. I do. When you're talking about consenting adults, I think that, yes, we should really consider that we can't criminalize consensual behavior as long as no one is being harmed. But at the point that anyone's being harmed or exploited, then I think we have to understand that's a different matter.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You can also text us when we get that line up and running. We're trying here on the very same number.
Yeah. Well, I remember when there was a bill that came up that tried to legalize prostitution in Illinois. And the first person that I called was Chris Baker of Inc. 180. And he said, John, if that happens, young boys and young girls will be victimized even the more. And that was his heart. His heart was like, if they allow that to become the law in the state of Illinois, he said Illinois is already the hub of sex trafficking, labor trafficking.
But to legalize it and then say, well, it's consensual, adult on adult, nothing's consensual because that prostitute has a pimp that she has to answer to.
That's right.
But I mean, this is her. She's deranged. This is the most radical candidate we've ever had for president.
Oh yes, but this whole both of them.
And this is a reason why she's avoiding interviews.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be called out and have to answer. But she's not. But who's gonna give her the tough questions though? Name a person out
Somebody
there.
should bring that up. Hey, I know you flip-flopped on a lot of issues, but when you ran for president in 2020, you wanted to legalize prostitution.
Yeah.
But with the caveat, well, if it's hurting people, prostitution is hurting people.
It does.
It's the oldest, it's the first profession for women, they say. The oldest profession for women. Yeah. But it's wrong.
Yeah.
But that's how she feels. That's what she thinks. That's who she is.
That's right.
And we need one reporter. We just need one president. We have 41 days to go. That's it.
That's it? It's 41?
Yeah, I thought it was 46. Don't rely on me.
You
for the
remember
numbers.
when we had Chris Baker on here and he was talking about at the DNC alone, was it 77 people that they recovered who were sex trafficked?
Yep, they saved lives.
Saved lives.
And we still have 330,000 kids that the Biden-Harris administration lost with their open borders policy.
Wow. How do you lose a kid?
You do.
Oh,
because parents are just,
You stop putting them in Trump's cages. Obama's cages. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's how.
Another problem that needs to be exemplified, shouted from the rooftops, Jane Fonda. Uh-huh. Jane Fonda has been campaigning seniors for Biden-Harris. That was back, in June.
Yeah.
14th, they're in Reno, Nevada. She was with Dr. Jill Biden campaigning. She wants to and is supporting, obviously, the Democratic ticket. And she's calling for young people to come on. She gave an interview with the climate reporter from CBS.
We have to get as many people elected, not just to the top president, vice president, but Congress, Senate, state legislators, city councils, all the way down ballot, people who are brave and who will not support corporations that are killing us. And if the young people stay home, we're going to lose. They have such power. So show us your power, vote, and then fight.
In many ways, it feels like you're choosing the path of most resistance. Finding local candidates, going out and talking to them, raising money for them.
It's so fun.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't get depressed anymore. Greta Thunberg said something really great. Everybody goes looking for hope. Hope is where there's action, so look for action, and hope will come. Ever since I'm doing 100% of what I'm capable in confronting the climate crisis, I don't get depressed anymore. I get angry, but I'm not depressed. Action is good.
If celebrity is a currency, which it seems to be, why are you spending it this way?
What other way would there be to spend it? Because I'm a celebrity.
She's been a political
I try
activist
to
her whole life.
study
Noah
very
Jane.
hard so that I know the facts, and because.
But she went on to say, that I'm really involved this time because of the climate emergency. A Trump-Vance win, she believes, would send the country in the wrong direction by increasing our reliance on fossil fuels. One of Trump's slogan is drill, baby, drill. We can't allow this to happen in the United States, not when the future of the planet is at stake.
I wonder what jet she arrived on for that interview.
Exactly.
What SUV she got in the car.
86 years old. But you know what that means? That means that I'm thinking Kamala Harris is telling her, shh, let me just get in.
Yeah.
And then we'll take care of it. Then we'll get rid of the fracking. Because Jane Fonda wants to cut fossil fuel emissions by 4 years. Well, in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And Kamala wants to do the same thing.
Of course. The Green New Deal. She's a big proponent of it. It was part of her 2019 run or 2020 run. And now she's just not giving that up. She's not giving that up. I mean,
I'm telling you, she is a fraud.
She's for fracking, but she's also for the Green New Deal. Well, the Green New Deal calls for no more fracking. So which is it? Where's that question from a journalist?
She just has to hide for 42 more days. She's going to be in Georgia today doing another campaign.
Biden hid.
Pardon?
Biden hid.
Yeah, I know.
For an entire election process.
I know, because of COVID. And she's hiding because she's stupid. Sorry, not intellectually sound. And because she's lying to people. She's a fraud.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I've taken the practice, what do you call it?
Oh, boy, searching
not the
for
bar
words.
exam.
We're
Right.
searching for...
But if she passed the bar exam, she's not stupid.
No,
I mean, passing the bar exam is tough.
Fonnie Willis passed the bar exam.
I'm telling you,
she went to Emory Law.
I'm telling you, though.
No, I know, but she's
the LSAT,
just...
that's what that was
LSAT.
hard. I mean, I got 180, I think 190 on it. I didn't even study. I just took it. Just wanted to see where I stood. And they told me, a lot of people, because I went to Loyola I was thinking about law school.
Mm-hmm.
I still am. But when I took it, she said, that's not bad at all. I said, I didn't study at all. She goes, well, what will your score be if you actually study? So it's
okay.
Interesting. I mean, that's a hard test.
I know, but okay. I understand. But we're talking about her policies right now and the way she presents herself and the way she's dodging questions, because she's dodging questions because she's a fraud and she knows it. Let's go to Phil and Darien. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, guys. So I wanted to mention, Jane Fonda, she just used the word fight, okay? Why is it that the libtards are the only people that can say that word, but when we say the word fight, it's incitement, it's insurrection? I mean, can you guys answer that for me?
Well, because we're the right, because we're on the right, and our entire party platform is all about violence. And when you look at it, the Dems, everything that they've stood for has been about violence. Think about it. I mean, go back to when Trump was president, when he was running for president, and when he was president, Maxine Waters saying, "Well, get up in their face, go to the restaurant."
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Madonna,
they were the ones.
Madonna saying, "Let's go, let's bomb the White House."
Yes, but they know they have the cover of media, though. They know that the media, and hopefully we get into this with our guest coming up about how the media covers their antics and just highlights everything that Republicans do.
Right.
That needs to change.
Lee in Hammond, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Lee, did I ever run into you in the Walmart in Hammond?
You might have. I spent a lot of time there due to financial reasons. No, I wanted to call you guys up. I think I think the point you're missing, and I think the Republicans miss it as a whole. You try to rationalize these arguments with the Democrats. It's not about climate change. It's not about abortion. These people are financed by George Soros, the elite that are actually doing the same thing in Europe. What the Republicans need to do is go after that. Let people know that this whole thing is about destroying their way of life. They want your car. They want your air conditioning. They want your appliances. It's about turning you into basically back in the old days when you had the gentry living on the hill and you were nothing but a peasant living on the bottom of the hill. They need to start doing this. I mean, you can't rationalize these arguments with these guys. It's not about these issues. It's about It's about, you have to go to the root source of what's causing all this, and it's about globalism, international Marxism, communism, if you want to call it that, but that's what it's about, and the Republicans failed to do that.
All right.
That's true.
Thank you so much. Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Amy, and nice to hear you again, John.
Thank you,
It's been a good show even without Dan. You mentioned Kamala wanting to legalize prostitution. Let me go off the deep end here. And maybe we should have prostitution centers. Imagine the revenue we could make. Tax revenue.
Well, I'm sure they think about that. It's just another income, revenue that they can tax.
So the Office of Prostitution will be the tax
exactly
body, the taxing body.
Mark in Oak Lawn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Amy, John, thanks for taking my call. You know, I couldn't believe what I heard out of Kamala's lips when she said that, two consenting adults, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's crazy. And you know what? Basically, that comes from when a person's had a lot of multiple relationships with a lot of different people. They've minimized the beauty of having a lifetime partner. And they get jealous of other people that have a lifetime partner.
Well, she's got Dougie now. She's got her Dougie.
Yeah. Well, it's misery loves company. It's misery loves company, and they want to pull everybody into the same miserable life that they have. And they don't believe in marriage. They don't believe in family. They just want to tear it apart.
She's got great nieces, 2 of them. If you think about it, it's an illegal transaction. A man is paying a woman for sex, and she thinks that that's okay. Yeah. She wants to legalize that.
I mean, how many states? Is it just Nevada?
Yeah, Clark County. But you have outside of Clark County.
Yeah. Any other states?
Not that I know of.
Let me look it up.
Well, you go looking that up on that company computer.
No, I'm on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Rich in Indian Head Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning, Amy. Good morning, John. How you guys doing today? Right. What I wanted to say is she wants to legalize prostitution. But then they turn it and they spin it and say she just wants to make it less criminal. Well, what's the difference? If it's less criminal, it's more or less legalized. That's like saying you can go in and take $900 worth of goods and not be prosecuted as long as it's under $1,000, which doesn't make any sense. And another point I'd like to make: she wants to make prostitution legal, but yet she's not going to go to the L. Smith dinner for Catholic Charities because they know if she goes there, they will finally figure out that she really is a fraud, the people that don't realize it already now. Yeah. So that's all I have to say. Thanks. You guys have a good day.
Only Nevada, Clark County.
Do I dare take this phone call?
Amy?
Yes.
Only Nevada, Clark County, but there are multiple states with
outside of Clark County, right?
Well, yeah, but there are multiple states that have legislation in their chambers.
Okay.
Multiple,
really?
Yeah.
Dear God, I mean, the coarsening of our culture. It every day surprises me more and more. It shouldn't surprise me though. Yeah. All right, Kevin in Ogden Dunes. I can't believe the Prime Minister of Ireland.
Boy. He's hanging out with Dan.
Have you had a Dan Proft sighting there, Prime Minister?
Every day, each and every day, he disappears at night. It's a travesty. We can't find him once the sun goes down.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to comment on this issue of the sex professionals, and I'm a huge backer of Kamala. She's the greatest leader since Winston Churchill and Charles de Gaulle. But as far as the sex, she has it right. The world goes round on the sex, and the world's oldest profession should come out of the gutter. Nobody talks about accounting, which is, the world's second oldest profession, because the girl and her sponsor have to divvy up the money that is made from the world's oldest profession, the accountant, the world's second oldest profession. Jane Fonda, where is she? She must be 80 or 90 years old.
She's 89 years old. 89. And she's had some work done, girl.
Senior citizen sex trafficking if she's going around and pushing for that girl. And the senior citizen sex trafficking, we've tried it, and it doesn't really work so well.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Prime Minister. Have fun and see Dan off successfully on his plane.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and healthcare, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
All right. If you've been in business for a number of years, it's likely your company has grown in every department. You've added your sales team, increased your client base, multiple locations, but there's one area that could stop you dead in your tracks if not protected, and that's your network's data. As you've grown, you've likely evolved your basic network over time, putting your company at risk to cyber attacks. Every day, more than 30,000 websites are hacked, and 2/3 of companies globally have experienced at least one type of cyber attack. Don't be a statistic. Defend your business, your customers, your employees, your future growth with what we call Turnkey's real-time threat hunting protection. Turnkey has a solution to protect your business, so start a conversation today. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. The union that represents IRS employees has just endorsed Kamala Harris, and it's not surprising. Along with President Biden, she's delivered $80 billion in new funding and 80,000 new agents to scour Americans' tax returns. She's done a lot for them with your tax money. In the end, that's what's alarming about government unions endorsing candidates in the first place. Politicians earn their support by supporting big government through spending your money. In return, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats become their supporters. It's a cozy arrangement for everyone but the people who pay for it, you and me. Federal bureaucrats are supposed to work not for politicians, but for the American people. That means they're supposed to serve whomever we elect, fairly and without favoritism. These endorsements reveal the naked truth. Instead, government workers have become partisans. It's a dishonest system, and it needs reform.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging, wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
AM 560, The Answer.
Real quick, Sandra Smith from Naperville, DuPage County, on Fox and Friends, she asked Kamala Harris's advisor, what is your plan for lowering costs? And it got a little nasty. Meow.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all,
actually, that's not it. Sorry, but we'll find it later. But it was, she was very cantankerous, so to speak, and defensive, saying, well, she has a plan. It's on the website.
Yeah.
That's not a plan.
Yeah, it just got there, too.
Run, spot, run, or whatever Trump called it. Quickly, let's go to Glenn in Orlando. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Also remember, Kamala Harris wants to decriminalize all illegal drugs, every one, like heroin and everything else. And remember, she's a West Coast liberal.
Yep.
If you think that her policies work fine, look at what's going on in California. And also, how come nobody is looking at her record on when she was Attorney General in San Francisco? She failed to prosecute dozens of pedophiles. How come nobody's talking about that?
All good points, yes, and they will come to the forefront every day as we get closer to this election. Thanks, Glenn, for the phone call. Appreciate it. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, our good friend Charles Thomas joins us. Brandon Bodies, the number is going up. We'll start there with him. And then Pedro, he's not going anywhere, but he is conceding partially to the CTU.
Yeah.
But for now, let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
6:30 on AM 560, The Answer. We're watching developments in Israel this morning as Hezbollah terrorists have fired missiles at Tel Aviv, the deepest strike yet after the Israeli bombardment of Lebanon. Hezbollah saying they are targeting different portions of Israel's military infrastructure. The military said it struck the site in southern Lebanon where the missile was launched. The Israeli military says they struck the site in southern Lebanon where that missile was launched from. Thousands of Florida residents are being ordered to evacuate ahead of Tropical Storm Helene.
Models currently range from it developing into a tropical storm all the way to a major hurricane at Category 4.
Governor Ron DeSantis, the Department of Justice, suing Visa over alleged antitrust violations. Visa is accused by the DOJ of monopolizing debit markets.
Visa has unlawfully amassed the power to extract fees that far exceed what it could charge in a competitive market. Merchants and banks pass along those costs to consumers, either by raising prices or reducing quality or service.
AG Merrick Garland, a Senate report finds the Secret Service faces numerous problems keeping it from doing its job effectively. Trump transition team co-chair Tulsi Gabbard claims the danger to the former president could be greater.
It is deeply disturbing to see that, Iran is supporting these assassination attempts, but they're not the only ones. We know that the drug cartels, that any of these entities that President Trump is a threat to their existence, they are trying to take him out.
On the presidential campaign stump, Donald Trump Monday threatened tractor manufacturer John Deere with 200% tariffs if it sends some of its manufacturing to Mexico.
We will put a 100% tariff on every single car coming across the Mexican border and tell them the only way they'll get rid of that tariff is if they want to build a plant right here in the United States with you people operating that plant.
And he also said he will put tariffs on electric vehicles crossing the border from Mexico. Convicted murderer Marcellus Williams has been executed by the state of Missouri, put to death by lethal injection last night. No one is in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's West Side. Police say a man began arguing with two others yesterday in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. Both offenders pulled out guns and shot the man. And one man was killed, another critically hurt in a shooting outside of a popular hot dog stand in the city's Little Italy neighborhood. It happened last night around 10:30 outside Jim's Original Hot Dog stand in the 1200 block of South Union. A man was shot in the face, transported to Stroger Hospital, later pronounced dead. A 19-year-old man was dropped off at Rush Hospital, later transferred to Stroger in critical condition. The news is a service of AlmostFreeTeeth.com. Overpaying for dental implants is over. If you have medical PPO insurance, find out how you could save 90% off on average to get your smile back. Check if you qualify, AlmostFreeTeeth.com. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
November 2nd, 2020 marked the 100th anniversary of the first commercial radio broadcast. We're still here, and we're bigger and better than ever. You can still listen to us over this great radio station, but now there are no limitations. Your smartphone is now your smart radio. Listen to us online on the app, TuneIn.com, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey.com. Your smart speaker can find us too. With radio, there is no separation anxiety. We're always on. AM 560, The Answer.
If you have high blood pressure, you have the #1 risk factor for mortality.
Don't be a walking time bomb. Make this change and watch your blood pressure drop.
Order a 120 Life today.
Yes, 120 Life is an amazing blend of superfood juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure.
It's been endorsed by thousands of health professionals and doesn't have the side effects of medication.
It's up to you to control your blood pressure, not Big Pharma.
Seriously, 120 Life could be the natural game changer in your life. Try it yourself risk-free with a 2-week trial pack. You've got nothing to lose but your high blood pressure.
Go to 120life.com and use promo code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping.
120 Life is so sure it can noticeably lower your blood pressure in just 2 weeks, they'll give your money back if you're not satisfied.
Order the 8-ounce drink or powdered mix. From pomegranates to cranberries, it's the delicious way to lower your blood pressure. It really works.
Go to 120life.com now. Use coupon code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Paul Jenkins, owner of Bancroft Architects and Engineers, a service-disabled veteran-owned small business providing design solutions for clients, including the VA. When looking for a trusted banking partner, Bancroft was lucky to find that partner in Signature Bank in 2015. With Signature, personal service goes beyond a login and a PIN number. My staff and I have the comfort of knowing that we're dealing with real people who know our business and care about us as individuals. Signature helped finance our new state-of-the-art facility, and Bancroft looks forward to further expanding business opportunities for disabled veterans and historically disadvantaged communities.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What a waste of time, money, and vacation days. Hi, Amy Jacobson here. And if you've had a bad knee or hip replacement surgery, you know exactly what I'm talking about because sometimes the surgery doesn't even work. But there is an alternative, QC Kinetics. Check it out before you go under the knife. QC Kinetics uses your own body's properties to repair damaged joint tissue due to arthritis or an injury. Folks, it's regenerative medicine. Think about it. If you cut your hand, it eventually heals. But don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself with a free consultation. And what's really cool is the fact that Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, the National Medical Director and former orthopedic surgeon, is located right here in the Chicago area. Call now to end your chronic pain and learn more about QC Kinetics. They have new locations in Gurnee and Crystal Lake. Saturday appointments available. The number to call is 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
37. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center. And this update on your travel times, a service of Dell Technologies. Southbound I-55. Motorcycle accident. 2 left lanes blocked in Will County this morning. Southbound 55 between Caton Farm and Black Road. Dan Ryan inbound between 95th and 83rd. You've got an accident with a right lane blocked. You've got stop and go traffic, brake lights inbound on 57 and the Bishop Ford into the Ryan merge. And in Lockport, Will County as well. Accident with injuries. That's on 9th Street at Canal. Serious crash that state police have been called in to monitor. Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. Great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. A warmer day ahead, less humid in your forecast with clouds and sunshine, a high of 76. Currently, 57. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
So Pedro says no. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony.
Hi.
And for Dan, who I believe is flying home right now.
Oh.
Can't wait to ask him about his trip to see if he actually relaxed on his trip. I suggested having some Guinness and maybe a shot of Jameson, huh? Because when I go on vacation, I go on vacation. But anyway, Pedro's not going anywhere. In a Tribune op-ed piece, he said about the offer to resign. I mean, he put it an offer. The offer to resign? No. Mayor Johnson wants him to resign, but Mayor Johnson can't fire him. Only the school board can fire him. Quote, I declined. It was not a rebuke of the mayor, but rather a decision to pursue our vision for the future of CPS. What a suck toy. I mean, then he went on to say he's not going to close those 100 schools that he recommended be closed. And instead, what he wanted to pass a resolution, John, to eventually close them in the year of 20 what?
Yeah. I want to say 26 or 2027.
2026.
I know Mike Scott was talking about it on my drive in today.
Well, guess what? He's lucky that he's a minority. Well, he is, because they came forward to admonish Johnson for even suggesting that they get rid of Pedro Martinez.
Again, as a Mexican, I'm insulted to think that somehow a leader like Pedro Martinez is not respected, even though he's done nothing wrong.
We, the Mexican community, have had enough of being disrespected.
We're finally beginning to get people into positions like Pedro has. And now the mayor is not only does he want to fire him, he's ridiculing him, he's lying about him, he's challenging him, and all he's doing is listening to the Chicago Teachers Union.
Well, really? And the Chicago Teachers Union, here's my BFF, Stacey Davis Gates, who sends her kid to a private Catholic school, by the way.
How do you have school when 80% of your schools don't have a library or a librarian? What I'm saying to you right now is that as a CEO, he can't just say, I can't afford your contract. He has to say, this is how we're going to afford school in the city of Chicago.
A library. That's her point of contention? Do you know that there's a thing called your iPhone and a computer? That kids are using instead of going to the library and using the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah. I used to have to live in the library when I...
Right, so did we. But times have changed.
Yeah.
I don't think, in schools, I know that they're using... Schools that are overcrowded, they're using the libraries to teach classes in.
Right.
But the books are still on the shelf. Yeah. With more on this and the media's role in helping Kamala Harris get elected, welcome back to the program, Charles Thomas. I saw you on the Bro Cruise, Charles, but I didn't get to see you. He's former chief political reporter at ABC 7 News. I was on the streets with you for years.
Yeah. I was on the boat for maybe a couple hours, and then finally, the motion of the lake.
It got to you?
Kind of sent me to the lower deck.
Oh.
And I spent the last maybe 45 minutes of the cruise, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
Great show on the cruise, John.
Thank you.
I loved it. And I know I missed you, Amy, because as soon as we pulled into the dock, I had to get my land legs back.
Oh, I know. It's hard. It wasn't even
I'm
that
cool
choppy.
now. I'm cool. And I
Okay.
can't wait till next year, but I will bring the Dramamine with me.
Oh, yeah.
We had some on board.
We did. Yeah, but you have to, but you can't take it
before.
during. You have to take
Yeah.
it 20 minutes before
Yeah,
you
you
get
got
out.
to take it before, right?
It doesn't
right.
bother me.
All right, so what do you think of Pedro Martinez's move of desperation?
This is the Super Bowl, man. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, in fact, myself and many others, probably you and certainly Dan did, we predicted that the CTU, the Chicago Teachers Union, this is why they ran Brandon in the first place. This is why they had him on the ballot, so that they would be in a position to basically write their own contract. Because they're in negotiation right now, and Pedro Martinez is clearly in the way of them just basically taking everything everything, any spare dollar that the city might have, whether they're spending it on the streets or public works or maybe even ShotSpotter. They're creating every dollar they can in the city to make sure that their contract is the best contract they've ever had in the history of their union. I mean, they are the political bosses now, the CTU. That's what Chicago voters chose to do last year when they elected Brandon. They basically handed the city over to the CTU, and they've just kicked off the Super Bowl where they're going to convert basically that vote into money for their union, and that's what we're watching now.
So
what we're watching happen.
And they had a public hearing, or not a public hearing, a public meeting yesterday at one of the elementary schools. And reporters are saying that a number of people, like 400 people, have signed a letter of support for Pedro Martinez, including former CEOs of CPS, Arnie Duncan and Janet Jackson. Do you think that's going to have any staying power?
Anytime, I can't really answer that question, but I will say this, that the leadership of the CTU, the behind-the-scenes leadership, the Jackson Potter, Jesse Sharkey, I mean, these are dyed-in-the-wool Marxists. Mm-hmm. They're making this, all of them are making this into a race issue. The Mexican-American community versus the Black American community. Yeah. In Chicago, it's black versus white. They've manipulated it into a black-Mexican situation where we're going to fight over control of the public schools. And we're seeing it play out. And yesterday, I think, was when the Mexican-American community fired back. We have the sides, but in the deep recesses, you have the Marxists, the Jesse Sharkeys, and the Jackson Potter, with Stacey Davis Gates a little bit out front, and Brandon way out front, having this fight.
Charles,
and taxpayers are going to pay.
Charles, where are the investigative reporters on exposing these type of things? I remember, what was the guy, Walter Jacobs, and what's the other guy?
Bill Curtis?
No,
Channel 7?
Yeah.
Walter was
Chuck,
it too? Chuck Gowdy? No,
Chuck Gowdy.
He's still there.
But where are they on doing exposés about this thing? I mean, you miss Beckman or whatever her name was, Kim Beckman or whatever. Pam Beckman. You miss these type of people because they're not giving this to the Chicago residents, to the state people that live in Illinois, because I'm sure they'll find a lot of collusion between CTU, the mayor's office. I mean,
he talks to Stacey Davis Gates 5 to
but that's
10 times a day.
It's a problem.
Well, they put him up because she wanted to run, but her favorability was at 1%.
Wow.
That's how likable she is, 1% in the city of Chicago. So they knew that was a guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
So they got Brandon.
Yeah.
They made him be a teacher where, remember, he didn't give any quizzes. He didn't give any homework assignments for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then they plotted him in Austin neighborhood so he could take, I think, oh God, what was his name? Boykin? Or
Richard Boykin?
His commissioner seat, because he was against the sugar tax.
Yeah.
So they wanted Brandon out. He won by like 120 votes, became a Cook County commissioner. And then when, boom, it became apparent for him. And during the time when he was Cook County commissioner, he also worked for the CTU and made 6 figures.
Yeah.
Being a community organizer and doing speaking engagements during
But
COVID where he didn't even leave the house.
He's a union employee.
Right.
That's where he came from, and he basically is doing the bidding of his, I guess, technically former bosses, but they are still his political bosses, and they're at the union. We used to call them affectionately, the people that ran the city of Chicago, the Green Team. They were the Irish politicians, mostly from the South Side. Well, now they're out of, they're going to jail, and they're done. And now the Democrat Party in Chicago is being run by the CTU. Yeah. It's just plain and simple. They won, and now they're trying to grab the spoils of victory, and they see the money is at CPS that they can get their hands on quickly, and that's what they're going for. It's right
but the
there
money
in
that
front
they're
of everybody.
asking for, the $50 billion and 3 cents or whatever. What do they want? I mean, librarians and school libraries that are pretty much shut down or being used
They
or
want
repurposed?
workers. They want union members, more union members, to pay more dues, who will pay more dues, who will make them even more powerful. But they've run up against a roadblock, and the roadblock, I hate to say it because he's not one of my favorites, happens to be J.B. Pritzker, who's got more money than the union or anybody in this picture, so he can tell them to go take a hike whenever he wants to. And they're trying to appeal to him to get more money from the state. He's saying no, because that would be a political liability for him elsewhere in the state of Illinois, the suburbs and everywhere else. So he won't surrender any state money, and he doesn't have to, because he doesn't depend on them for money. But every other politician, the CTU is greasing them to give them what they want. I mean, people have just got to understand how the Democrat Party operates and how the money flows through it. And the money now is flowing. A lot of the money is either coming from either J.B. Pritzker or from the CTU, and that's where you're having a confrontation right now.
Charles, what do you think about? I don't know if you've been following the news. Our very own Janet Jackson came out against Kamala basically and said, "Well, she ain't black," and
then one of her staffers was fired.
Her publicist came out and apologized, and then Janet doubled down and said, "No, I didn't apologize. I stand by what I said."
She fired that publicist.
She fired him.
Yeah.
Right, fired him. And you know, I don't know if you saw Candace Owens' piece.
That's what I said today.
Last couple of days. Yeah, you saw that where Kamala, in her autobiography or whatever it is, I haven't read it, but she's posing with a woman. She's saying she's posing with her paternal grandmother, who is clearly a black woman.
Yeah.
But Candace exposes that Kamala's paternal grandmother died 4 years before Kamala was born. So who is this woman in the book that she's posing with? This black woman with whom she's posing. Clearly, it's not a grandmother.
She's a habitual liar.
Well, Judge Joe Brown, who can't stand Kamala, knows Kamala's father, and said he put down on his birth certificate that he's Hindu and Irish.
Wow.
He was born in Jamaica, but his parents aren't Jamaican.
Right.
Because they came over.
And if you've ever been to Jamaica, you know there's a very strong Indian presence, and as well as British presence in Jamaica. So it's clearly plausible that he's not a black Jamaican or a Jamaican from the Afro-Jamaican. I don't know what they call them down there, but there are questions about it. And then the fact that she's actually claimed being an Indian American in the past. So I mean, there are questions about it. I don't know.
But Charles,
I haven't done a 23andMe.
But does that offend you guys? I mean, you guys are black. Does that offend you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not just that, but where's the media? Where's this? Because if this was Trump saying I was black, they'd be all over this guy. I mean, if there's proof, and I've said this on my show many times, if there's proof that she's lying about being black, of somebody of African descent, and they're not going after it, this is a misjustice this is a misjustice.
Well, Brandon Johnson, when she was here for the DNC, he called her a black woman of Asian descent.
Yeah.
That was what he went with. And I thought, oh, wait. I remember stopping and wait, what did he just describe her as?
Right.
And that's what he did over and over again.
It's all ridiculous. The whole conversation is ridiculous when we should be talking about policy.
Correct.
And the fact that this woman will not answer questions regarding her policies. She will change her policy. She will announce a new policy on a particular issue, but she won't explain the change.
Right.
How did she go from education and no more deportation, which she was chanting, but now she wants to build a wall? Okay, Kamala, what happened? How did you see the light?
Right.
What went on? She doesn't explain any of that. And anybody who would vote for someone like that, they have my sympathy.
Yeah, and she's plagiarizing Trump's agenda as well.
Well, today she's going to deliver a speech on the economy in Georgia. Trump did that yesterday in Savannah. She's going to be in another town. And I bet she's going to say no tax on overtime. Because she's copying everything else, Trump's been doing. She might as well just put on a MAGA hat,
But she won't explain how she came to that realization that it's going to happen. But one other thing, guys, I just got to say this before I get off the phone. Mm-hmm. We have, at some point, and this might be the October surprise, by the way, this administration has to explain how it has thoroughly screwed up our foreign policy.
Yes.
It's got to explain that, because they are putting not only this country at risk, but the entire planet at risk, playing this game of chicken with Vladimir Putin and the total chaos that's underway right now in the Middle East. That the Biden administration owns all of this. Trump gave us peace and prosperity. These people have given us war and economic uncertainty and inflation. This could be where the October surprise is, because they're having this huge meeting in Russia, the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They lead the BRICS coalition. They're having the meeting October 22nd and through the 24th, I believe. And what comes out of this could be some devastating news about that could affect our economy, because we're talking about 80% of the world now lining up against the United States and the Western European countries.
And they're developing their own currency.
They're developing their own currency, and that could devalue our currency, which could cause an economic problem. What I'm talking about isn't a scare tactic. I mean, people around the world, the Biden administration has so alienated our country from the rest of the world because of its bumbling. And now we've got Kamala.
And Charles, think of everything you just said, and think about this invasion of illegals that's happening here. And we just had a former border guy talk about how many people that were actually on the terrorist watch list that Kamala and Joe Biden had them squash. I mean, think about that. What Russia and BRICS is doing. You don't think they've infiltrated their people into this country?
They know exactly what's going on.
They know what's going on, and it's horrible. And I think they put our country at risk. And people have got to understand it, because we talk about race and gender and all these other abortion, all these other issues. At some point, we have to get away from that and understand that, I can be black by ethnicity, but I'm American by nationality. And at some point, Americans of all stripe have to come together to understand that, hey, we've got to survive on this planet. We've got to maintain our way of life on this planet. And right now, there seems not to be any understanding of that, of who we are as a country, as opposed not to all these different little groups that we have.
Always excellent. Charles Thomas, you can follow him at C. Thomas Drum, D-U-R-N, C. Thomas Drum on Twitter or on X, and he's the former chief political reporter for ABC 7 News. Always a pleasure to have you on, Charles. Thank you so much.
Amy, you're doing a great job. You and Dan are an island in a sea of confusion, an island of common sense in a sea of media chaos. Thank you.
And you're a treasure, brother.
Yes, you're the best. All right, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Do the proposed tax and estate planning changes have you concerned about your future? The time to prepare is right now. Take advantage of a no-obligation conversation with a member of the Wealth Management Group team. It's a complimentary conversation focused solely on you, your goals, and how changes can impact your family's future. Call 833-WMG-PLAN or visit investwithwmg.com.
Securities and financial planning offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. From the best-selling author of Wonder and the creators of Jesus Revolution comes Whitebird.
I'm sure your father has told you stories about when I was a young girl.
Hope can lift you.
You stay with us, okay?
Courage can save you.
You're the bravest person I've ever met.
Love can free you.
When kindness can cost you your life, it becomes like a miracle.
From the director of Finding Neverland, Whitebird. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters October 4th. Tickets and showtimes at whitebird.movie.
Hi, Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Step up your grilling game with our Solaire portable infrared grills. Our compact everywhere is a favorite of RVers and trailer pullers. Solaire Infrared provides the quick sear for bar marks and texture needed to properly finish sous vide. Use a portable alongside your larger conventional grill to create an instant sear zone and more juicy and flavorful food. Learn more at BestHotGrill.com. Affordable, powerful, portable infrared grills at BestHotGrill.com.
WIND, Chicago.
Trump targeted by Iran. I'm Chris Foster at Fox News. The former president's campaign says he's gotten a briefing from President Biden's director of National Intelligence Office about alleged threats from Iran's government to assassinate him. A man accused of trying to assassinate Trump in Florida faces new charges related to that now. He was held on gun charges. And now a new report about the first attempt in Pennsylvania.
The Senate Homeland Security Committee releasing their report after conducting dozens of interviews with the Secret Service personnel responsible for planning and securing Trump's Butler rally. The committee finding that the Secret Service, quote, failed to ensure the AGR roof was adequately covered by either Secret Service or local counter snipers. The report also revealing a Secret Service agent specifically requested drone equipment days before the rally, but it was denied with no explanation.
Fox's Brooke Singman, a Secret Service statement says the Senate report largely aligns with its own. Israel's military says it's intercepted a missile near the city of Tel Aviv that Hezbollah militants say was targeting the headquarters of Israel's Mossad intelligence service. House Speaker Mike Johnson has a vote scheduled today on a temporary spending bill to prevent a government shutdown a week from today.
Facing GOP opposition, Johnson asking Democrats for help to move it forward, calling this the last available play. The speaker coming up short last week with a package offering a 6-month stopgap that included a measure to require proof of U.S. citizenship for voter registrations. The latest legislation includes $230 million in funding for the Secret Service. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer urging House Republicans to expedite passing it, stressing the Senate will move quickly once receiving the bill. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Executed in Missouri, Marcellus Williams, convicted of murdering Alicia Gale during a home burglary in 1998. Her family had asked that his life be spared, and his attorneys raised questions about jury selection and the handling of evidence. America's listening to Fox News.
57 degrees. At 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. There is no one in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's West Side. It happened yesterday in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. And detectives tell us one man was killed, another critically injured in a shooting outside of a popular hot dog stand overnight in the city's Little Italy neighborhood. It happened around 10:30 near Jim's Original hot dog stand along South Union. One man shot in the face, transported to Stroger Hospital, and later pronounced dead. A 19-year-old man dropped off at Rush Hospital, later transferred to Stroger in critical condition. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez refusing to resign in spite of being asked to do so by Mayor Brandon Johnson. In an opinion piece in the Chicago Tribune or an op-ed, Martinez said Johnson asked for that resignation, but he chose not to resign because it would create a leadership vacuum and instability in the middle of contract talks. Chicago's Mexican community rallied yesterday around Martinez.
I ask all the other Mexicans out there that are listening, watching, let's come home. Let's bring unity here and stand with Pedro Martinez.
The CPS CEO also disputed rumors that he plans to close schools, adding he will propose a resolution to not close any schools through July 1st of 2026.
Are any of you aware of this list? Have you seen it?
The district did not propose closing schools. The district is not planning to close schools.
That during CPS and union contract negotiations last night. More juvenile detainees are making claims they were sexually abused at youth centers across Illinois.
The employees of the Cook County beat me, threatened me, and sexually abused me. I wouldn't wish my situation on anybody. I hope that justice is granted for the pain and suffering we all went through as kids.
3 new lawsuits brought by more than 200 plaintiffs describe a culture of sexual abuse at Illinois juvenile detention centers between 1996 and 2001. Chicago sports, Cubs 10-4 winners over the Phillies. White Sox avoid being on the wrong side of history for the moment, beating the Angels 3-2. And back on the ice, the Blackhawks begin preseason play when they host the Red Wings tonight. The news, a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations, combining heritage and innovation in every cup. Hot air roasted locally, cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Online at papanicholas.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This radio station is always on, but sometimes you need more content that you can take with you anywhere. That's why we invented the SalemPodcastNetwork.com. You'll find all the great hosts on this radio station, plus a few more, like Charlie Kirk, Dinesh D'Souza, Trish Regan, Jenna Ellis, and Dennis and Julie. There's literally no end to what we can teach you. It's like radio on demand, and just like radio, it's always on. Go find out what you're missing. Download the app, SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is, Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Exercise and a healthy diet can help, but that can be hard, especially as we start to get older. It's like the choice between taking the stairs or waiting for the elevator. Sometimes the easier option can be tempting. But just like choosing to take the stairs, you can choose to get a variety of 31 whole fruit and vegetable ingredients. Balance of Nature supplements are formulated from the best ingredients available, and it's as easy as taking 3 fruits and 3 veggies capsules every day. It's a small commitment, but it can help you feel your best. Start your journey with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Eric Metaxas here, available now on SalemNow.com, my new film, Letter to the American Church, which uncovers chilling parallels between Nazi Germany and the current challenge facing the American church. Today, Marxism is threatening to destroy the church and undermine the authority of God's word. When you capture the seminaries, you capture the pastors, the church, and ultimately the soul of the world. Christianity isn't just about saying Jesus loves you and waiting for heaven. It's about boldly living out your faith today, especially when there's a battle for truth raging around us. us. The moral authority of the church is weakening, which is why we're seeing the rise of Marxism in America. This is a critical hour for the American church. Letter to the American Church is a clarion call to the body of Christ. We cannot let our cry for freedom be silenced. I challenge you all to stand firm, speak out, and take action against evil. This is a critical hour for the church. The time is now. The hour is late. Don't miss Letter to the American Church. Watch it now at salemnow.com. That's salemnow.com, salemnow.com.
7:08, Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this look at the roads is a service of almostfreeteeth.com. Overpaying for dental implants is over. If you have medical PPO insurance, find out how you could save 90% off on average to get that smile back. Check if you qualify, almostfreeteeth.com. Deer Park, Rand Road, that's US 12, northbound just after Deer Park Boulevard, report of an accident. Major incident in Lockport this morning, Will County. 9th Street between Canal and State Street shut down. An accident involving a motorcycle. Serious crash. State police have been called in to assist. Checking your toll roads. The Reagan jamming up eastbound between Cermak and the Tri-State. Jane Addams slows up eastbound Meacham to Route 53. Tri-State slow northbound between Roosevelt and the Ike. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Some clouds and sunshine today. Warmer, less humid day. High 76. Clear tonight, low 56. And then sunny to partly cloudy for tomorrow. The high again, 76. Clouds and sun, breezy, terrific on Friday. The high at 74. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
57 at O'Hare, 58 Midway, 53 in Aurora. And your next news update, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson, John Anthony, and for Dan Proft today. Hey. So, no more ShotSpotter, but there is a new creation from our really good friends over there at CWB Chicago. They have Brandon bodies, which is, I mean, it's so sick and sad, but this is just an example of how you take away a governmental tool to protect the people of Chicago, and when it's gone, people are going to lose their lives.
Well, they have.
They have. And so we had Brandon Buddy number 1 yesterday, and now Brandon Bodies.
Body number 2 happened about 10 o'clock last night in the 5700 block of South Wood Street.
And probably somebody that could have been saved because people aren't calling 911.
Yeah, no one called 911 on this second body.
I mean, when it went away, you have aldermen that wanted it that are telling Chicagoans, please, if you hear a gunshot, call 911. Yeah. They're reminding citizens to call 911 if they hear anything that sounds remotely like gunfire. Other aldermen are calling it the most reckless and dangerous policy decision in Chicago's history. And we welcome back to the program one alderman who voted against getting rid of ShotSpotter, and that's our good friend Alderman Beal. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing this morning?
Good. So what was it like there? I mean, I've never seen, I'm glad it was 34-14, I believe, or 33-14. But I've never seen a mayor have the support of only 14 aldermen.
Right. And even the 14 that voted with the mayor, that was a soft 14. You probably only have about 7 or 8 that are hardcore lefties that are with the mayor 100%. And he was calling around, and it was a full court press. And you see, even with the mayor calling around on a full court press to get people to vote his way, he still lost the vote 33-14. So that's an overwhelming majority of the city council that are saying, hey, we need this technology. And he's totally ignoring it. And it just really defies logic for somebody to dig in and say, we're going to get rid of something and not have something in place, Amy. I just don't understand it. How do you just not have anything in place but you're going to get rid of it. Now you want to issue an RFI, which means absolutely nothing. There's only one company in the country that offers this kind of technology, and that's ShotSpotter. And so, we just don't understand. We all make campaign promises when you're running for higher office and things like that. But when, governing is different from campaigning. And this mayor has not made the transition to start governing. Governing means you get in, you look at the data, you analyze it, and you do what's best for the entire city. You don't do what's best for your campaign promise. You made a campaign promise. It wasn't a good one once you get in and you see the data and the logic, and you retract that. People respect that more if you say, hey, I looked at the data, I'm making an educated decision to, we need to keep this technology, but you throw the baby out with the bathwater and not have anything in place. This is just really defying logic, and I don't understand this. And this is the worst decision I've ever seen in my 25 years as being a city official.
And he says that ShotSpotter is racist. How is that racist? Because we have ShotSpotter up, where it's predominantly a white neighborhood.
Well, this mayor, unfortunately, he's playing a race card more than the last mayor did. When things don't go your way, you play the race card. And that really when you play the race card, that really hurts the cause in the long run. Because when there is injustice, when there is, things like that take place, it really hurts the cause when you really need to invoke the race card.
Alderman Bill, it's so good to hear from you. I haven't seen you since you came down to Will County when I was state rep down there. So good to hear from you, brother.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. As you look at what's happening with Pedro Martinez, the CPS CEO, and Brandon Johnson basically telling him to step down, and
what a dictator.
When does the elected Chicago school board take over? And if Stacey Davis Gates and Brandon get their way, they're able to basically run CPS.
No, it's a dictatorship.
It would be. When does that take effect, and how will that affect CPS and the students?
Right now, half of the elected school board is up in this coming election right now.
Okay.
And I think that's why you see such a big full court press to get Pedro out, is because right now CTU has no money. All right, they spent all their money on the last couple of mayoral elections, and they only have about last I looked, it was like $42,000 in their account. And so they have no money to play in these school board elections. So they're running the risk of, even though we wanted the school board elections and we want the elected school board, they have no money to play in those races. And so right now they're trying to get everything they want before the election. And so that's why you see the full court press to get Pedro out, so they can get this big unrealistic 9% raise, and they can get this unrealistic contract that they're trying to get. And Pedro, to his credit, is standing firm.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to go out and borrow $800 million on a payday loan to fund these $5 million in cuts, and then they estimate about $300 million with this new contract. And so Pedro saying this is not fiscally responsible. It doesn't make sense. This will bankrupt the system. But CTU doesn't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
They want what they want. They spent their money to get their mayor, even though he's probably going to be one of the worst mayors in the city's history. And they
That's saying a lot.
Well, and he's not going to win re-election. There's no way in hell. I don't care what he says or what he thinks. It's not going to happen.
Well, anybody with an approval rating at this point at 22% is going to be very difficult to turn the ship around. All right. And so, when you watch everything that's happening, the budget deficit that we have this year, we have a $230 million budget deficit this year that we have to fill. Going into next year, there's a $1.3 billion deficit going next year. And so he's staring down the crime, getting rid of ShotSpotter, people dying in the street, the increase in taxes on CPS, on CPS's side, increased taxes on the city side. I just don't understand how you recover from a approval rating like this with all these, big hurdles, basically looking down your throat.
And when you look at how now, I heard a report that there was over $400 million that has been spent on the illegal migrant issue. When you look at that number, way more than that.
Yeah, they spent $51 million for 3 months. to house illegals here.
But when you look at that, I mean, and then you don't want to close schools that are non-performing. I mean, what does that say to the taxpayers of Chicago?
Well, it sends the wrong message. Like you said, I mean, you just hit it on the head. When you look at Douglas Elementary, that's a school that only has 28 students in it, but they have 39 administrators in the building. Why is that school open? Nobody understands. Why is that school even open? Take those kids, put them in another school, and save that money, close the school. However, the mayor makes a comment, well, you fund it, they'll come. We've lost over 100,000 students over the last 10 years. The kids are not coming. People are not moving to Chicago because of the crime and the taxes and everything that's happening. The biggest thing that's really, really getting to me right now is, and we have a good core of common sense aldermen here in the city of Chicago that are starting to stand up. Yeah. We need more to stand up to stop this injustice that's happening and save this city. This city needs saving, and this leadership, this lefty leadership that you see on the fifth floor right now, is not the answer.
Oh, that was a bold statement.
Yeah, well, let's quickly go back to ShotSpotter because Brandon Bodies, we talked about it at the top of the show. No one called 911 when this woman was shot in the 7700 block of South Dobson and on 9/15 on Monday. Okay, so she had suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the leg in critical condition at University of Chicago Medical Center. She told police that a man in a black car shot her, but officers found shell casings and all that. And a witness told police, are you ready, that he heard a gunshot in the area and saw the woman run into the gangway and collapse, but he didn't call 911 about it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And that's
the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Over 80% of gunshots that go out here in the city of Chicago are going unreported by a follow-up 911 call. And that's why ShotSpotter was so effective. That young lady is sitting there, got shot, unfortunately, could have got aid. We could have got her to the hospital in time and saved her life. But instead, now people are going to be left to bleed out in the streets. When people call 911, even if you say, hey, I hear gunshots in the middle of the night, well, where did they come from? What direction? How many gunshots? You can't answer any of those questions if you're waking up in the middle of the night hearing gunfire. But I can tell you what, ShotSpotter will tell you exactly within 10 feet where that gunshot came from, how many gunshots rang out, and there's just so much more that can be added to that. And so, it just defies logic. And I know I keep saying that, but it defies logic and common sense on why you get rid of ShotSpotter and not have something in place.
But I think people in the city have to realize that this is a dictatorship. I mean, the vote was 33-14 to keep it because residents like myself, you contact your alderman and say, I want to keep ShotSpotter. Okay, so the people of Chicago has spoken, but he vetoes it. Wow. So why even take a vote in the first place? I mean, can we change the system here?
Well, there were a couple of aldermen that unfortunately voted against it who have a lot of gunfire in their ward. And then you had another alderman that took a walk because the mayor asked him to take a walk. And we had 2 aldermen that weren't there. And so we believe that even though it's been turned off, hopefully, within the next month or so, we can have a city council meeting and we can override this mayor with a veto because we were only 1 vote short of it being veto-proof. We needed 34. We got 33.
Oh, that's right.
I told you it was a structured vote.
And I know that alderman who walked. Yeah. He was on, he voted to keep ShotSpotter, and then the second time they took a vote, he walked.
Yeah.
Because Brandon Johnson got to him. I wonder what he promised him.
Right. But
well, I don't know what you can promise anybody with a $1.3 billion deficit. There's not much to promise.
Yeah, I got 2 questions. Are these politicians listening to the voters? And you guys are looking for $1 billion as it relates to your budget. I mean,
where's that going to come from?
Are taxes going to be raised on the people of Chicago?
Oh, absolutely. I've never in my 25 years seen a budget hole this big. Under Lori in the last election, last cycle, we did have a budget deficit, but that was due to COVID. But we had COVID money to plug the hole. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to plug this hole other than property taxes, fines, and fees. And so this mayor, which is, he's anti-police, and we know we have over 2,000 vacancies in the police department right now. They're going to go after that police budget. They're going to go after that police budget, and they're probably going to try to eliminate the majority of those 2,000 vacancies and not try to fill them in order to start plugging the hole as far as our deficit is concerned, because I've never seen a hole this big. And so it's gonna be painful. But the thing is, we don't have the right person that's listening to the people to plug this hole, to understand how do we climb out of this. He's not listening to people with experience, the people in this city who know what's going on, who have the pulse of the city of Chicago. Like you said, you're not listening to 33% of the aldermen in the city of Chicago telling you we want this technology, and you're saying, I know best, and get rid of this technology. It doesn't make sense.
And then we give that COVID money to migrants instead of to like ShotSpotter to keep that going.
Absolutely.
It's the logic is it's unbelievable.
There is
to
no
me.
logic there. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
There's no rationality. There's no reason. It's all emotional. And the activists are running Chicago right now. That's the dictatorship. You know, it's not just CTU, but it's a lot of the activists. Because what's the role of the activists in Brandon Johnson getting rid of ShotSpotter too? Because, you know, they used to be called gangs, but now they're called activists.
You don't have to answer that question if you don't want. But hey,
like,
I want to tell you,
touching that
Alderman,
one.
I was in your ward picking up garbage with Venezuelan migrants, and they're all over Roseland. And we cleaned up
everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. But the ones that I were, I mean, they're not all criminals. I understand that, but a lot of them have a lot of time on their hands because they can't get work permits. And so, how do we solve this problem?
Well, the thing is, you have to really solve it on the federal level first. And you cannot give work permits to people who have come here illegally and, you know, just not come through the process. That's why you see so much dissension in certain communities. You have to work and give those work permits that have come here legally, come here the right way, and, you know, and have gone through the channels. First of all, we don't know who's all here. Sure. We do know that a lot of their gang members are here. Mm-hmm. They emptied out their jails. We know that for a fact, and they sent them here. And so when you have, you know, all these different factions, we have to be careful. And you cannot continue to say we're a sanctuary city and not cooperate with ICE when you detain and arrest somebody that are doing something to harm us and they're not here legally, and not deport them and not prosecute them. That is also driving a lot of the problems that we're having because they know nothing is going to happen to them, you know. And when you have their gang factions that have come here, they're trying to set up their gang networks here. And I'm going to tell you, they don't care. They don't care about committing crimes. They don't care about killing. You just saw in the paper yesterday, Venezuelan killed somebody who was begging for their life, and they killed him. Okay, is that person being arrested? Are they being charged? Are they being deported? Are they sent back, or are they going to be sent, you know, put in jail for the rest of their lives? We don't know. And so these are a lot of questions that we need answers to, because we have to make sure the city of Chicago is protected if we're going to grow. If this city is going to rebound, we got to protect our citizens first, because people who have the means are now leaving the city of Chicago. And what's that going to leave? People that are coming to Chicago don't have the means. So we can't continue to take care of people who don't have the means to pay taxes and contribute to society, because eventually we're going to head towards bankruptcy, which we don't want. But that's the direction in which we're going. We're going towards bankrupting the city of Chicago.
We're going to become Detroit.
What?
Like I told Dan when this all started, when I saw all those stores leaving Michigan Avenue, I'm like, this reminds me of D-Town. I was there for 2 years, 2 days, but I just remember. And then also, too, when kids would, you know, you'd have a school.
Yeah.
John and Alderman, you would, and the population became, you know, 30 or less. Kids would show up at school and there'd be a sign, your school's closed, go to blah, 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 down, you know, 4 blocks over and meet your teacher in room 102. That's what they did.
You know, Alderman, when I was in the General Assembly, I actually championed Chapter 9 bankruptcy protections, because what we saw what happened after Detroit, and then we voted for the pension resolve, and I voted in the affirmative. Are you okay with a Chapter 9 bankruptcy protection for the city of Chicago?
Well, you know what, we have to weigh all options, because we do know our pension system is broken. That is what's really bankrupting the city of Chicago, is our pension system. The amount of money we're paying on pensions is just unrealistic. And it's because, you know, we're being forced to sign and get into contracts like CTU is trying to get us into, which benefits their small group, but it's going to bankrupt the system. You can't do that. You have to be able to make sure that the money is being spent and is being spent right. And because only I think $13 of every $100 is actually going into the classroom. Those are some unrealistic numbers, man. When you look at that, so we have to look at it. We have to make sure taxpayers' dollars are being spent and being spent wisely, and we can't continue to fatten the frog, which is the CTU here in the city of Chicago. And because we know their whole agenda, most of their money is going towards campaigns. They're no longer a union; they're a political operation, and so they're using public dollars to fund their candidates to get them into office, and they're using taxpayer dollars to do it.
Wow!
All right, Alderman Beale, always a pleasure. Alderman of the 9th Ward, and you can follow him on X at Alderman_Beale, Beale. Thank you so much, Alderman, and we'll have you back soon.
Thank you. Got to get you on my show.
Thanks for having me.
I got to get you on my show as well.
Okay.
All right, let me know.
All right. Thank you so much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Jeep Adventure Days, and Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on 159th Street in Tinley Park has your ticket to anywhere. Hurry into Bettenhausen and get huge savings off MSRP on a new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, or Jeep Gladiator. Bettenhausen has big savings on a new Ram 1500 or new Chrysler Pacifica. Bettenhausen has the Midwest's best selection. Choose from over 900 vehicles with no hassle and no haggle. Showroom never closes at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
Balance of Nature, love it. Justin just came back from. Was that your honeymoon, by the way? Because I don't know. Was it your honeymoon?
No, that was just that was our 1-year trip.
Oh, see, he's such a romantic.
Honeymoon was in sandals.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. In Carousel.
Yeah,
Okay.
Carousel.
Did I? Of course, I'm going to butcher it. I'm the name assassinator. We're going on a carousel. Woo! But so when you were on vacation, you did not bring your Balance of Nature with, and did you notice a difference?
Oh, absolutely. I have it in a bag, though, and I didn't want to bring a suspicious bag of pills onto the cruise ship and be pulled aside for questioning.
Seriously. But I love it because if I don't take my Balance of Nature, I'm a little off because I love the energy you get. I've been taking it for 10 years. You take 6 capsules a day, and it's 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies because, when you go through that drive-through, if you're not getting a salad, you're not getting any vegetables. Oh, look at John Anthony.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Oh, really?
You don't give me anymore, so I'm in the timeout chair.
All right, I just asked Justin if he needs some, so I'll give you some. Okay. Fine. But you can order your own fruits and veggies today by calling 800-246-8751. Use coupon code Chicago to save 35% off your first set and free shipping when you sign up as a new preferred customer. Again, that number, 800-246-8751. Call now or order online at balanceofnature.com and use coupon code Chicago to save 35%.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right. Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, Stephen Moore will be joining us. And later, like father, like son. Did you hear the news?
No.
Well, we'll tell you right after we get into that newsroom with Mike Scott.
7:31 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. Hezbollah hurled dozens of projectiles into Israel, including a missile strike aimed at Tel Aviv, the militant group's deepest strike yet. The Israeli military says that set off air raid sirens and intercepted that surface-to-surface missile. Military says it also struck a site in southern Lebanon where that missile may have been launched. The Senate this morning is finding numerous problems, keeping it from the Secret Service is being kept from doing its job effectively. In that 94-page report, finds number of failures in security, planning, and communication directly contributed to the July assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. Tropical storm Helene forcing NASA to change its launch plans. The space agency says the crewed SpaceX launch, scheduled for Thursday, has been pushed back to September 28th. There is no one in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's west side. Police say a man began arguing with two other people in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. Both offenders pulled out guns and shot the man. He was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. One man killed, another critically injured in a shooting outside a popular hot dog stand in the city's Little Italy neighborhood. It happened around 10:30 last night in the 1200 block of South Union near Jim's original hot dog stand. The face-off continues between Thornton Township trustees and Supervisor Tiffany Henyard.
Thornton Township, I am the supervisor of Thornton Township, and I'm going to make sure y'all give me my respect and stop playing these games every time you come to the meeting. I need you to please put some respect on my name.
The board did approve to have an audit going back 3 years to when Henyard was appointed to her post. A student is in custody after bringing a gun into Highland Park High School. Police say Tuesday Highland Park police responded to the report of a student with a gun at the True North Educational Co-op. Parent Susie Wall says overall in Highland Park, schools need to be better protected.
I was told by you, Dr. Holland, last week that weapons detection systems at every door of our schools are not in the district's plans, and we are adding the roaming canine as a layer of security in January. That's adorable. I love dogs, but our core security layer is broken.
The families of two students are suing Huntley Community School District 158 after an E. coli outbreak last year at the high school in the district. The suit filed in McHenry County accuses that district of negligence, saying it knowingly allowed an employee with E. coli to handle food. Cubs blow out the Phillies 10-4. White Sox beat the Angels 3-2. On the ice, Blackhawks and Red Wings in the preseason at the UC. The news, a service of Del Bacchio Marchetti Group of At Properties, Christie's International Real Estate, experts in the northwest suburbs and Chicago. With over $800 million in sales, you'll get the most value for your home. Call 708-828-0000. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Your home is a valuable asset, and you want to take care of your home. From roofs, siding, windows, and doors to furnaces, flooring, landscaping, and much more. Listen to your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio every Sunday morning at 9. Presented by Lang Home Medical Equipment, Executive Green Carpet Cleaning, and by Valdecast Windows and Doors. Get answers from industry experts so you can make informed decisions about your home improvement. Right here on AM 560. The Answer.
This is David Hochberg with an emergency mortgage alert. If you're purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. It finally happened. After 30 long and excruciating months, Fed Chair Powell just lowered interest rates a half a point, which means credit cards, car and home equity loans will be lower and less expensive. Most importantly, mortgage rates have dropped to their lowest levels since last February. The past 3 years have knocked out over 60% of our competition, who are back in the mall spinning pretzels and folding underpants. Team Hochberg's weathered the storm and is ready to help you, your friends, and family reduce your rate and monthly payments. If your interest rate is 7 or above, call Team Hochberg now. Not when you get home, not tomorrow, now for a complimentary mortgage review. 855-563-2843 or 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANSindustrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-839-8484. 800-839-8484. 800-839-8484.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com.
7:39. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Inbound Edens, 44 minutes. Lake Cook Road to the junction, solid starting at Cicero. Kennedy inbound, an hour 40. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Stop and go on the inbound Ike, 90 minutes. 390 all the way into the old post office. Dan Ryan coming in, jammed in the express between 51st and Pershing due to a disabled vehicle, all blocking a left-hand lane. Delays in Lockport continue this morning as police continue to shut down Broadway between Route 53 and State Street due to a motorcycle accident, serious crash. State police have been called in to assist Lockport police. Traffic, a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, hot air roasted locally and cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Choose Papa Nicholas Coffee because great coffee is their family tradition. Online, papanicholas.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Warmer and less humid in your forecast, some clouds and sunshine, high 76. Currently 57. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, and for Dan Brock.
Good morning.
We were talking about this yesterday about crypto and how much energy it sucks up. Bill Maher, he hit on that topic last night.
Here's the other big secret about crypto that nobody talks about. This bugs me so much. We just had Bjorn talking about the environment. All the progress that we're making with green energy is being sucked away by crypto. Crypto uses 8% of total electricity. They're data centers. They're mining. This nonsense of finding a number. I can't even go through the whole thing. It's so ridiculous what crypto really is.
That's why it's, of course, this is like Trump's final business just before the election. Of course he'd end up in crypto. It's a grifter's paradise.
It's a comparable to putting 15.7 million additional gas-powered cars on the road. So as we take them off to go to electric, crypto eats it all up and goes the other way.
Somebody's going to be on Jane Fonda's hit list. Because according to Jane Fonda, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, if elected, are going to, decrease our use of fossil fuels by 55% in 4 years.
Yeah, I just wish I'd have bought that crypto when it first came out. I'd be a multi-millionaire right now.
And if we bought Apple stock and blah, 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 Microsoft. With more on this, let's welcome back to the program Stephen Moore. Good morning, Stephen Moore. How are you?
Hi, Amy. Good morning. Well, look, if we just got rid of cars, if we just got rid of, factories, if we just got rid of modern electric power, we wouldn't have this problem of global warming. And look, this war against American energy has gotten so crazy that they want to, what are they going to do next? Take away the internet? I mean, that is a huge amount of energy. What about artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is going to use 3 times as much energy as the internet does. So maybe we should shut down that. This is kind of an anti-progress movement when the truth is that, technology, if we're going to solve, if there is a climate change problem, and the climate of the planet has been changing for millions of years, if the government's going to do something about that, it's not going to be the government that's going to do it. We're going to fix this problem through technology and economic advance, not through government edicts. So, this makes, and by the way, you take away 60% of our fossil fuels, you will put the United States into a recession that will make the Great Depression look like a picnic.
Yeah, but don't you feel like Harris is telling people like Jane Fonda, who, she's 86 years old, but her plastic surgeon, man, I want him on my team later on in life. But don't you think Harris is telling her on the side, hey, just let me get in there. I'm going to say what I need to say to get into the Oval Office. Then we can team up and work on climate change.
Gee, you think?
I lose sleep at night over this.
Yeah, no, of course, what you said is exactly correct. That she has flip-flopped on every single radical position she's taken, whether it's her support for reparations, support for Medicare for all, so you have to get rid of your private insurance program. She's flip-flopped on the Green New Deal. She has flip-flopped on net zero, which gets rid of all fossil fuels in the country. She has flip-flopped on her position on the massive trillions of dollars of government spending she wants. I mean, this is a woman, just so people, I just want to make sure when people vote, they vote with their eyes open. This is a woman who, when she was in the United States Senate, I know I said this a few weeks on your show, but it bears repeating, she had a voting record to the left of Bernie Sanders. Now, how do you do that? I didn't even know there was any room to the left of Bernie Sanders.
She wants to legalize prostitution. That's what she ran on in 2020. I mean, this is.
I may agree with her on that one.
Legalizing prostitution, Stephen Moore. That's not funny because
I'd have to think.
That's an illegal transaction.
He's
okay.
thinking about the tax
Hey,
revenue.
come on! It's the world's oldest profession.
Okay, I'm not entertaining that. So this dock worker strike that could throw the economy off in the presidential election and chaos. Could this be the October surprise that would hurt Democrats?
Well, it's probably a reason why they won't go on strike, right? Because the unions are all, many of at least the union leadership of so many of these major unions are on the side of Kamala Harris. But it would do great disruption to the economy if you had the dock workers, because so much of the goods and goods that we buy come in through the ports, and if those ports are locked down, you're going to have a big increase in prices, obviously, because the shortages on the shelves of the grocery stores and all the other merchandise that we buy. So it's a potential big problem. But I have a feeling that Kamala and Joe Biden are going to go to these union brass and say, hey, you can go on strike, but wait till a few days after the election.
Right. Well, I mean, this strike that would shut down 5 of North America's 10 busiest ports and 36 ports total along the East and Gulf Coast and cause massive supply chain issues. And last time we had to deal with supply chain issues was during COVID. Remember that?
I think I do remember
Yes.
that. You're exactly right. That's what contributed to the inflation. It also helped that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden spent $5 trillion and then printed $5 trillion of money. But look, I think the economy right now, guys, is in a precarious spot. I don't know if you saw the news that came out, I think it was yesterday morning. The consumer confidence plunged yesterday, one of the biggest declines we've seen. I was sort of surprised by that, actually. But I think consumers are nervous, businesses are nervous. Everybody's kind of nervous about what's going to happen to our country. Look, Kamala, I have to give her credit. She's telling the American people what she's going to do. She is basically loud and clear telling us she's going to raise taxes by $4.6 trillion. Now, if you think you can get $4.6 trillion out of the richest 1%, boy, I've got some farmland to sell you. I mean, you can't get that money out of the rich. It's because this is a middle class country. It's coming out of your hide and my hide.
Yeah, well, she's campaigning today. She's, following Trump, who campaigned in Savannah, Georgia yesterday, talked about the economy, what his plans are. She's going there today. Is she going to say anything of substance? I mean, we're gonna figure out anything like what her plan is.
Is that a trick question?
To lower prices? Well, no. What's her plan to lower prices on consumer goods?
Good question. I mean, what is her plan? She keeps. Did you notice? By the way, I just want to make sure that your audience knows, because for full disclosure, I grew up in a middle class town, and I worked at McDonald's, so I really care about people.
She didn't work at McDonald's.
But this is a woman who knows nothing about business, knows nothing about finance, knows nothing about commerce. She has spent her whole career in government. And then, you have to decide, who do you think would be better to fly this plane? Somebody who's a pilot who knows how to fly the plane? Or
right.
Somebody
or her and a teacher and assistant football coach, volunteer, never got paid. So we're waking up this.
Can I mention something to you guys? Sorry to interrupt, but you get our hotline every morning. We have an item in our hotline
for confidential planning. Contact Anne Marie at Total Clarity Wealth Management. Discover what the financial foundation should be to pursue an exit that is satisfying. At some point, you are going to leave your business. Will it be on your terms? Total Clarity can show you the way to financial readiness and keep you on track. Anne Marie is a certified exit planning advisor. Visit TotalClarityBusiness.com. That's TotalClarityBusiness.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Total Clarity Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
AM 560, The Answer.
Lots of text messages coming in on our turnkey.pro text line. One even saying Alderman Beale sounds like a Republican or like a Trump supporter. Yeah. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, I am so excited about this. We used to have them on a lot. Chuck DeCaro and his wife, Lynn Russell, former CNN anchor. Well, she's leading the charge in defense of the Second Amendment. You have to hear her harrowing tale. It's fascinating what she's trying to get changed in Washington, D.C. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
CPD investigating a Little Italy murder. More ex-Illinois juvenile detainees accuse youth centers of sexual abuse. Cody Bellinger and the Cubs blow out the Phillies. In the NHL preseason, the Blackhawks host the Red Wings. WIND Chicago News Time, 8.
Thousands are evacuated in Florida. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Tropical storm Helene is close to hurricane strength as it moves toward Florida's west coast.
We do think this is going to rapidly intensify within the next 24 hours, and a major hurricane making landfall on Florida's Big Bend and the Panhandle tomorrow evening. So not a lot of time to get those preparations done. We do have hurricane warnings in effect for the Big Bend as well as parts of the Panhandle, including the Tallahassee area. You could feel hurricane force winds for a long duration of time. Storm surge, certainly tropical tornadoes and very heavy rainfall. Urban flooding is going to be a big deal. And not only along the coast, but well inland.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. A Senate Homeland Security Committee report about the first Trump assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, like other reports, including the agency's own, finds plenty of failures that day, including a lack of leadership and a Secret Service agent without much drone flying experience having to call a toll-free number for help with operation. Former President Trump campaigns in Mint Hill, North Carolina today. Vice President Harris in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It comes as recent polls show a tight race in the battleground state. Both campaigns have been making frequent trips to Pennsylvania. This will be Harris's fourth to the Pittsburgh area since launching her bid for the White House. On Monday, former President Trump's whirlwind tour included stops in Westmoreland and Armstrong counties before rallying in Indiana County, about 60 miles outside Pittsburgh.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Israel is calling up 2 additional reserve brigades to its northern border with Lebanon, and Israel's military has intercepted what's believed to be the first missile ever fired at the city of Tel Aviv by militants in Lebanon. Hezbollah says its missile was aimed at the headquarters of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, responsible for the murder of Hezbollah leaders and a wave of deadly electronic device explosions. America's listening to Fox News.
57 degrees. At 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. There is no one in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's West Side. It happened yesterday in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. Offenders pulled guns and shot the man. That person was pronounced dead at the hospital. Detectives are investigating that. And another shooting where one man was killed and another critically injured. It happened outside of a popular hot dog stand in the city's Little Italy neighborhood near UIC. Chicago police say it happened around 10:30 near the Jim's original hot dog stand in the 1200 block of South Union. One man was shot in the face, transported to Stroger Hospital, and later pronounced dead. Another man, a 19-year-old, was dropped off at Rush Hospital and later transferred to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. 3 new lawsuits brought by more than 200 plaintiffs describe a culture of sexual abuse at Illinois juvenile detention centers between 1996 and 2021. Jerome Block and other attorneys say they believe they know who perpetrated the attacks.
In these hundreds of cases of childhood sexual abuse at Illinois juvenile detention centers, we have identified more than 30 staff member perpetrators.
The state has to begin prosecuting these individuals. We have provided names, we have provided detailed information.
This is the latest in a series of lawsuits filed in the past year. Cubs 10-4 winners over the Phillies. White Sox beat the Angels 3-2 on the ice. Blackhawks begin preseason play hosting the Red Wings. The news, a service of AlmostFreeTeeth.com. Overpaying for dental implants is over if you have medical PPO insurance. Find out how you could save 90% off on average to get your smile back. Check if you qualify at AlmostFreeTeeth.com. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs, and now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Mortgage rates moderated again last week. The Mortgage Bankers Association's average for a 30-year fixed-rate loan declined to 6.13%. Home purchase applications rose just 1%, while applications to refinance jumped 20%. Starbucks CEO Brian Nichols says he's committed to engage constructively with the union Workers United and adds he deeply respects the right of the employees to be represented by a union. Starbucks is in contract talks this week's session, the first with Nickel leading the company. Some Wall Street analysts are betting it's almost time for another home improvement project. Oppenheimer analyst Brian Nagel is offering encouraging comments about Lowe's, saying next year through 2026 could see demand for home improvement pick up. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
8:05, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The two things that hit every family's budget the hardest are the price of gas and the price of groceries. And for the past few years, we've all been feeling that pain. That's why AM 560 wants to help fill your gas tank and your pantry. It's our gas and groceries giveaway contest. You could win up to $10,000 in gift cards for gas and groceries. Enter today at 560theanswer.com/contest. That's 560theanswer.com/contest.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging: wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Hey, AM 560 homeowners.
Are you tired of all the money and repairs going into your house? Need an easy solution to convert your home into cash? This is Jeff from JeffBuysYourHouse.com. For nearly 20 years, our trusted, proven, and professional team has been simplifying the home selling process in Chicagoland. Here's the deal. You are in control. Pick the closing date that works best for you. No need to worry about repairs or any cleanout. We will buy your house as is, saving you frustration, time, and money. That's right, a fair cash offer within 24 hours. And we actually buy your house. No funny business. With our simple process, there are no fees and no commissions. You can trust our proven, professional, and credible service. Our local, high-integrity, and veteran-owned team will go above and beyond to make it stress-free. Sound interesting? Sell your house to the trusted source by calling us at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or JeffBuysYourHouse.com.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is, Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
8:09. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of the Chicago Board of Elections. Chicago needs election judges for the November 5th presidential election. Earn between $170 and $230 for your service. Go to pollworker.chicagoelections.gov to learn more and apply. Wakanda, Route 176 and Anderson, they're clearing an accident. Wheaton, report of an accident. Butterfield and Herrick. Lockport, Will County. Broadway remains shut down between Route 53 and State due to a much earlier serious crash. On the toll roads, Route 53 jammed up northbound between the Jane Addams and Kirchhoff. The Reagan I-88 jams eastbound right at the Tri-State. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, problems as you travel on the southbound side between Bryn Mawr and Fullerton, all due to road work in a left-hand lane. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. A warmer and less humid day ahead. Clouds and sun, high 76. Currently, partly cloudy and 57. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony and for Dan Proft. Before we get to our guests, I just want you to know that VP Harris and former President Trump have agreed to separate town halls with Univision, giving Latino voters a chance to ask direct questions about key issues, like jobs, healthcare, and immigration. So October 8th will be Trump. October 10th will be Harris.
Oh.
Both town halls will take place at 10 p.m. Eastern Time with Enrique Acevedo. He's going to be the moderator. But
nice.
Just do it together.
Do a town hall
Just
together.
give the American voters what they want, to see you two together on stage dealing with real questions, not from biased reporters, but from actual American citizens.
Yeah, but some of those people are planted too, though.
Yeah, that's true. But still. So, it's something. We're going to have to watch.
Yeah.
But if that town hall is anything like her Oprah interview.
Do it together.
Man, oof, that was bad. All right. I'm so excited to have our next guest. They've been on it, but it's been a while. Chuck DeCaro and Lynn Russell. Lynn Russell, you may remember a familiar face of headline news for the country back in the day when headline news was still a thing, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to my good friend Robin Meade?
That's a good question.
Hello, sunshine. But yes, that's they're gone. But Lynn Russell, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. We're fine. I say we because we're both here. How are you doing?
Good. So I was reading your story in jonathanturley.org about your challenge in defense of the Second Amendment. And tell us about your confrontation, your brush with death.
Well, let me see. Chuck and I both are defendants. I'll give you the headline news version. We were on a road trip across the southern U.S., going from the Washington area approximately, all the way across. We went through Tennessee and New Mexico, and we both carry legally, planned to disarm at the California border. And we stopped in New Mexico, saw some friends, had dinner, got back in the car. We were traveling with our very elderly and very dear Weimaraner, our dog, who was 13 years old. I had to go out all night long. And we had just had an experience at the 35th CNN anniversary in Atlanta in a Hilton, and decided that we never wanted to have to wait for an elevator to take the dog out again. So we thought we'll just take a road trip. And in Albuquerque, we thought also at 11:30 at night, there's no point in getting on Route 66 if you can't see anything. So we saw a brightly lit Motel 6 and decided that would be fine for us. It looked good, and we could take the dog out when we needed to.
And we could get the dog in the first place.
Yes, exactly. So we went in and brought our things in and put our weapons on the table, on the bedside table between the beds, locked the door. Chuck went into the shower. I remember I needed dog food. Went out to the car to get it, came back, didn't see anybody around anywhere. And about the time I got the door open, this guy came around the corner, a homie holding the gun sideways, very cool, and literally launched me into the room, slammed the door. And about the time he was figuring out what he wanted to do with all that, Chuck comes out of the shower looking for a towel. And it was like the cavalry. I heard Chuck say, what the hell is going on in here? And one thing led to another. I was carrying my gun in my purse. It just happened to be that kind of a road trip where I didn't feel like wearing, jeans, pants. I was just wearing a really loose dress. And so I didn't have a belt, and I didn't have any way to secure a weapon. So I had it in my purse, always under control. And I've got to make it short. But the bottom line is the purse, Chuck wound up standing there soaking wet, still never finding a towel, with the purse that I handed him that had the gun in it. Guy opened fire on us when he found he wouldn't take anything. He finally took something. He took Chuck's computer, turned around and opened fire. And I had handed the purse to Chuck, saying, maybe there's something in here you'd like to give the man, because the guy wouldn't take anything. And Chuck, thinking very smartly, said, yes, there is. About that time, the guy turned around and opened fire. My wonderful, brave husband yelled, Ranger, and returned fire. Oh, I have to tell you, the bravest thing I've ever seen a man do. He walked in, looking for the towel, and he stood in front of the weapons, so the guy did not know they were there. And, so then anyway, the gun was in the purse. And thank God that the gun was in the purse. And this lawsuit aims to make it possible for women to carry as they need to in their.
Okay, wait. We'll get to the lawsuit in 1 second, but the perp was shot 3 times but survived, right?
No.
Or who was shot 3 times?
No. He was shot 7 times. 4 went into him, and 3 went into my computer that he was holding. And he just had enough time to get out the door and drop dead.
Oh, okay. And you weren't charged with anything because you were defending yourself, correct?
Yeah, true. And I took 3 rounds and was bleeding out. But the New Mexico or the Albuquerque Fire Department and first responders got there in time. And obviously I'm not dead. And, here we are 10 years later. Wow. Happy about it, 9 years later.
Yeah, I do. And so, Lynn, so because of this case, or because of this situation, and we're glad you're both alive and well, what challenges, what defense of the Second Amendment are you fighting for right now, and where?
Well, we're both have concealed carry permits for Washington, D.C., but they're limited in a number of ways. One of them is, especially in the case with Lynn, is they're off-body carry, that is, carrying a weapon in your purse, or you're a guy jogging, you got a fanny pack, is illegal. So we're trying to get, we're taking the government of Washington, D.C. to court to get.
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, Chuck, are you there? No, I think we lost him. All right.
I remember this case.
Yeah, actually, do I remember that now that we're.
So I told you that I was one of the chief negotiators for all Second Amendment issues in the General Assembly. So I did my Google alerts to bring up any story that mentioned the Second Amendment, anybody that got shot, anybody that defended something, and this story popped up, and thank God that they had a weapon. If they did not have a weapon that night, they'd both be dead.
And they asked him, like, what do you want? I mean, they kept, but there's so many crazed individuals out there who are suffering from mental illness and evilness.
Yeah.
So what they're fighting for, they're leading the fight for others, particularly women who use off-body carry for self-protection. Because a lot of women, as she was mentioning and she was getting to, that a holster is not a convenient option with dresses and other outfits. So there's gun and purses specifically designed for women to blend into clothing styles.
Wow.
So they're fighting for that in Washington, D.C. By any chance, do we have him back, Justin?
I interviewed a lady who from Texas. She actually created workout wear where you can, and it's patented and everything, where you can go for runs, and she's created places within the, what's the Lululemon type?
It's called Lululemon.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't wear it, so Lululemon. I don't wear it, so I don't know.
Okay.
But she actually created. Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh yeah. Hi. So just tell us about the fight, because you're leading the fight for others, especially women.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, absolutely. This is the way the law is written in D.C. and in other places. It's a huge disadvantage to women who need to be able to protect themselves because of as you know, the way we wear our clothing. It's just not always possible to carry a gun. You don't want anyone to know you're carrying. In fact, it's illegal for someone to carry in such a way that it's obvious that you're carrying. So there's that, and that is for the women. And as Chuck was saying, you can look at any time out at guys out running and walking, and they have fanny packs, and sometimes that's where you need to put your weapon on that morning jog.
So where does
another point in this lawsuit is that there is no historical analog at all for dictating how you carry.
Yep.
There just isn't. In the very beginning, they were carrying, on the weapon was on the saddle or in a saddlebag, or that has nothing really to do at all with our right to protect ourselves.
No.
Well, so where does the case stand now? What's next?
That's what we're waiting to find out. We're just the plaintiffs.
Okay.
But it has been a lot of motions going back and forth, and it's actually pretty exciting because constitutional scholars are suggesting that there is no basis for that law, and that it is a given that you have the right to carry the way you choose, as long as it's under control and you're doing it in a safe manner.
As long as it's concealed. It's concealed, right?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Because, we carry our weapons anywhere. You can lock them up in your car. You can wear them in a fanny pack as long as it's concealed.
Right. And then there's
DC
certain
is
states
that's just controlled.
Oh yeah.
How many other states that do something like this where they dictate where you can store your weapon?
I don't know. Several do. And there's a wonderful product that people especially women tend to wear. It's called a Sneaky Pete.
Yeah.
And it looks like sort of like a purse, you put on a belt. And it's right out there, and it's a very secure holster inside. But even that is not allowed.
Yeah. Well,
and we do need to be in Washington, D.C. from time to time, so it's important.
There's actually a woman in Texas. I don't recall the name of her company, but I interviewed her, and she creates entire merchandise where you can buy that conceals your weapon and workout wear. I know there's fanny packs that she's created, and she has it patented.
Deanie Adams.
Yeah.
Is it Deanie Adams?
Yes, that's her. That's her. Yeah.
Yep.
That's her.
Yep. I've got a great piece of her equipment. It's a nice sort of a workout top with a really secure holster.
Yes.
But boy, what you have to go through to get to it is not very good.
Now, Chuck and Lynn, you guys are in, I know you spent some of your time in Italy. And what are people saying about our presidential election there?
Trump. That's it.
Really? Do people come up to you on the street and they find out you're Americans and they just say Trump and then walk away?
That's about it. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
We got to understand, these guys, the Italians have had, a back and forth between socialists and those who are not capitalists here forever. It's still ongoing. And the kinds of laws that that Harris would like to bring forth, the Italians already been through, and they don't want any part of it. The government control here, I mean, it got so bad in Italy that they have an armed IRS called the Guardia Finanziaria, the Financial Guard, and they run around in gray uniforms. They are a national police force, and they are armed. And literally, this happened a few years ago. It's gotten, it's not happening as often as it was, but back in the 80s, you'd walk out of a restaurant, and this armed police officer would politely ask you, "May I see your receipt?"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm serious. And they hand you your receipt. You better hand them the receipt, and then they go over there and check. Walk right in and check. Let me see the money that's been deposited in your cash register. Thank you. So that's real. They're still here. We had a Prosecco with a friend of ours who retired from the Guardia Finanziaria, and they think nothing of it because they've had it here for a couple of generations.
Yeah.
We don't want any part of that.
You know what else is here is the same quote immigration situation, not to the extent with which people are crossing the border in the States, but they are coming, and they show up in the most unlikely places, and all of a sudden things start to change, and you see young people taking martial arts classes to defend themselves because they're so worried. The crime rate goes up. It's a bad scene, and they know. Everyone says we watch the United States for what's going to happen because it will happen here too.
And
I'll tell you what it's like.
Chuck,
you cannot.
Yeah, Chuck and Lynn, people really need to be aware of where Kamala stands on the Second Amendment. There's actually audio of her saying that she's going to send people into the house to make sure that people are storing their weapons all right. She said that there's audio of her saying that she's going to do executive action on the Second Amendment, especially as it relates to what they allege are assault rifles. And I just want to say really quickly, I have a sign in my house. I'm a huge Second Amendment proponent. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And if you guys did not have that weapon in that room, we're not having this discussion today. So for those of you who are afraid of guns, get educated on them because it could save your life one day, especially when you look at what's happening across our country. So I'm so glad you guys are here.
Well, I tell you one thing, to expand on what you said. If you're going to spend, a lot of us boomers have friends who are getting guns for the first time, getting pistols. And, they've got the expendable income. They go out and buy a $600 or $1,000 pistol, and that's it. And then it ends up in a safe.
Right.
If you're going to spend $600 on a pistol, which isn't a lot of money, but you ought to spend another $600 learning how to use it properly.
Yeah. Right.
Because when it comes down to this, in my little experience here, were it not for my military training 40 years earlier, where I understood what to do with the firearm, I wouldn't be alive.
Right.
There's also a mindset here of confidence in the weapon and knowing exactly what you've got to do. if you don't have that, I won't say the weapon is useless, but it's not as useful as if you had been trained properly and have the mindset to use it.
And along with that idea, as a woman, I'd like to say that for years I was anti-NRA because of hunting. I just have a thing; it's my thing. That's my thing. Mm-hmm. But because we renew our licenses every couple of years in Washington, D.C. and some other places, and they require that we use NRA instructors and everything. I have to tell you, I have told many women, if you're going to carry, and I hope you do, you should just go ahead and lay down, $150, $180, and go to an NRA instructor, because when you finish that day and a half, you will know this weapon. You won't be afraid of it. You'll respect it. Yep. You will know more about it than you ever dreamed. Family members are great, but it's like teaching a family member to drive. Yeah. You get in there and you do the NRA class, and you will never be sorry.
That's why I carry a Glock. You can drop it in a bucket of mud; it'll still fire.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have to leave it there for today. Chuck DeCaro and Lynn Russell, such a pleasure to have you on again. God bless and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You too. Take care.
Ciao. And they've joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, now open on 159th Street in Lockport. Bettenhausen has your ticket to anywhere. Hurry in and get huge savings off MSRP on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee or Jeep Compass. Bettenhausen has big savings on a new Ram 1500 or new Chrysler Pacifica. Bettenhausen has the Midwest's best selection. Choose from over 900 vehicles with no hassle and no haggle. Showroom never closes at cdjroflockport.com.
All right. If you have chronic pain due to arthritis or an injury, listen up. Surgery, steroids, cortisone shots, physical therapy, not your only option. QC Kinetics, it's regenerative medicine. Use your own body's cellular therapies to fix that injury. What are you doing this for, John Anthony? I'm sorry, you have to turn your microphone on.
Oh, look a brother up.
Okay. I know. I could, actually. Yeah. Would you honestly do
I
it?
would go. Try it.
I've got to decide between you and my friend.
No, give it to you.
And Avalon Park.
Give it.
Decision.
Yeah. Oh, you got to give it to Avalon
Decision.
Park. You got to give it to Avalon.
But they'll decide if it's not going to work for you. Yeah. They will let you know.
You got to give it to
because
Avalon
they have
Park.
turned down people too that are certain lifestyles that wouldn't be conducive to regenerative cellular therapy. But find out for yourself. Okay. You never know. You got to go. There's a free consultation. And they have new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Saturday appointments available. They are under the guidance of national leader, Dr. Michael Scheinkup. He is the best. He used to be, he's a surgeon, former surgeon, but now he's in charge of the program. And he's right here in the Chicago area.
Nice.
What's not to lose? Call today for that free consultation. 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
Hatch Company seeks a manager, business systems in Romeoville, Illinois, to design, develop, and manage information technology solutions. Qualified candidates must have a bachelor's or foreign degree equivalent in computer science, information technology, or closely related field, and 6 years of experience. 10% travel, partial telecommute available. Please send resumes to mcampos@hatch.com. That's HACH.com. Again, Hatch Company seeks a manager, business systems in Romeoville, Illinois. Please send resumes to mcampos@hatch.com.
Dan Proft here for Northridge Prep. Northridge Prep is a great place to be a boy. What does that mean exactly? In short, it's thanks to a foundation of an all-boys environment that builds your son up into a man of intellect and character who loves God. The teachers and faculty members become mentors to students. And when you combine that with an atmosphere that's fun, competitive, and challenging, it creates an exceptional experience for your son. And the result is that the boys just love Northridge. They've been educating boys for nearly 50 years. And one of the things that stands out to me is their commitment to partnering with parents. Now, you hear this a lot with schools, but at Northridge, the parents can't stop talking about it. They built a community that really works together. Raising kids is difficult these days, and at Northridge, you can be confident your son is on the right path. They're having an open house on Sunday, October 20th, for boys in grades 6 through 12. Register today at northridgeprep.org. Again, that's Sunday, October 20th. Register at northridgeprep.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, somebody's been fired, and like father, like son. We'll get to that. And then we'll welcome our guest, Chadwick Moore.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to love this. All right, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
8:32, 59 degrees. The Israeli military says it's activating their reserve troops in response to rising tensions within the Hezbollah militant terror group. It comes hours after Hezbollah fired a missile toward Tel Aviv for the first time. Senate report finds Secret Service facing numerous problems, keeping it from doing its job effectively. Republican Senator Rand Paul believes the best way to deal with what happened is to remove those in charge of making decisions.
We're going to do a spending bill this week, throw money at the Secret Service, but I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. I think you have to fix the human errors that are occurring, and there were dozens of human errors in the first assassination, and I think we'll find the same with the second.
The Secret Service says many of the insights gained from the Senate report align with the findings from their own review. Thousands of Florida residents are being ordered to evacuate ahead of Tropical Storm Helene, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
The fact that this would be forecasted as a major at this point without formation shows that this has a potential to be a really, really significant storm.
A hurricane warning has been issued for parts of Florida's Gulf Coast, and evacuations began Tuesday for some coastal areas. The Department of Justice is suing Visa over alleged antitrust violations.
Visa's unlawful conduct affects not just the price of one thing, but the price of nearly everything.
Federal prosecutors say Visa controls debit network markets by using agreements with merchants, card issuers, and competitors. No one is in custody following a deadly shooting on Chicago's West Side. It happened yesterday in the 4300 block of West Wilcox. And one was killed, another critically hurt in a shooting outside of a popular hot dog stand in the city's Little Italy neighborhood near UIC. Chicago police say it happened around 10:30 last night near the Jim's Original hot dog stand in the 1200 block of South Union. Cubs blow out the Phillies 10-4. White Sox 3-2 winners over the Angels. Back on the ice, the Blackhawks begin preseason play hosting the Red Wings. The news, a service of Balance of Nature, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Save 35% off your first preferred order with promo code CHICAGO. Order online at balanceofnature.com. Use coupon code CHICAGO to save 35% as a preferred customer. Hurry, offer ends soon. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees a weird twist to the immigration issue.
You know, the issue of assimilation. Residents of Springfield, Ohio, reporting that Haitians are eating their family pets, killing the ducks and geese in the ponds. It's another gift of the Biden-Harris mass immigration plan.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are your file cabinets stuffed with work orders, invoices, bills of lading, medical records, and or compliance papers? There's a solution to clear the clutter by converting your documents into accessible digital form with the help of IDT. They can scan your documents for you or provide you with the technology to transform your workspace with easy and innovative IoT Smart Connected Scanning technology. IoT Smart Connected Scanning not only captures your information, it connects your documents directly to your existing digital systems, ensuring seamless integration and immediate access. Plus, it works with your existing Microsoft Office 365 technology. Convert those physical files into secure, searchable, easy-to-find digital formats. Goodbye, paper chaos. Hello, streamlined, secure digital environment. Visit ready4idt.com. That's ready, the number 4idt.com. IDT, putting paper in its place.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Oh, I love it.
I'm 83 years old, and it has helped me.
Everything was okay. I feel better. I just turned 90, so I'm doing real good.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You know, some guys tell me, oh, that's psychological, man. I said, let me tell you something. I don't care what it is. It's working.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. My father was a union iron worker, just like his father, but while he inherited his father's skill, he did not inherit his tolerance for taking orders from union bosses. He needed a change, something that was his, something where he could call the shots. So he started a janitorial company. His company cleaned grocery stores and airplane hangars, dentist office and construction sites, hardware stores and restaurants. As his business expanded, so did the complexity of managing it, especially the taxes. Preparing tax returns requires records, and Dad just never got accustomed to keeping good records. That was a mistake. It cost him his business. Initially, I followed my father and grandfather and became a union iron worker, third generation. I'm very proud of that legacy. Now I'm a tax attorney. I help business owners protect what they've built. Fighting back against the IRS is personal to me. If you own a business and have tax troubles, fight back. Go to fightbacknow.com. That's fightbacknow.com or call 312-664-6649. Become a freedom fighter today.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig and Leslie Bolano Sunday mornings at 10. Learn more at investwithwmg.com.
8:38, Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, and this update is a service of Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount, combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial, and more. Save at progressive.com. The Eden's at a tough 48 minutes right now, Lake Cook Road to the junction. Right now, 2 hours on the inbound Kennedy commute from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. 90 minutes, 390 to the old post office. Solid brake lights, North Avenue to the Tri-State. Stevenson right now is tough going 260 from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Dan Ryan, 35, 95th into the Circle. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A warmer day ahead, less humid. We'll have some clouds and then mostly sunny by the afternoon, 76. Clear and 56 overnight. Mostly sunny and 59. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
I just want to get to some house cleaning measures before we welcome our next guest. The former head of the comparable person to Dr. Allison Awardi of New York City. He told de Blasio about he implemented the vaccine mandates. He was in charge of the lockdowns. He told de Blasio what to do. And he was caught earlier this week, thanks to Steven Crowder, with having a sex party, drug-fueled sex party in 2020 and in 2021. So he has been fired from his job. Are you ready for this? Yeah. This should come as no surprise. He was the executive vice president and chief medical officer for SIGA Technologies, which is a
pharmaceutical and infectious disease company.
There you go.
Yeah.
So but he's.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people want him to go to jail because he ruined a lot of lives. Yeah. And a lot of people still don't have their jobs. First responders don't have their jobs in New York. Yeah. Because they wouldn't take the vaccine mandate that he put in place. So got that out of the way. Also, Ryan Roth, I don't even want to say his name, the attempted assassinator of President Trump the second time, the golf course guy. He's been charged federally now. Federal prosecutors, they unsealed the indictment yesterday, alleging that he did intentionally attempt to kill former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, a major presidential candidate. So now he could spend if carries a maximum penalty of life in prison if he's convicted.
Wow.
But like father, like son.
Oh,
His
boy.
son got arrested yesterday.
What for?
Listen to this. Son of Ryan Roth, blah, blah, blah. 35-year-old Orrin Roth. He was arrested after the FBI searched his home in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they found hundreds of files depicting child sexual abuse.
Whoa.
He has a criminal history, including arrests for DWI and assault on a female victim. So they're both in jail, in separate jails, obviously, but they're both been busted. Wow. So, and I'm sure that they found all that when they raided the house after the assassination attempt. Yeah. So we finally got there.
Good for them.
All right.
For charging him finally.
Now
we can say it's attempted assassination.
Yes, you can say that because he's been charged with that at a federal level.
Right.
All right, let's welcome back to our program Chadwick Moore. We only have, 40 plus days until the election. He is Chadwick, you might know, he's New York Times bestselling author of Tucker, the biography of Tucker Carlson, and his Substack is substack.com, and you can follow him on X at Chadwick Moore, Moore. Good morning, Chadwick. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Always great to be with you guys.
Great to be with you, too. So as the election is fastly approaching, what are you doing with logcabin.org? And tell people what that is first.
Well, the Log Cabin Republicans is the nation's largest LGBT group for conservatives, for gay conservatives, gay Republicans, anti-left gay people, and their friends and allies. I hate that word allies, but allies, whatever.
Associates.
And Log Cabin it's actually the oldest continually running LGBT organization in the country. It's over 40 years old. And they've got, we back in 2020, we started this part of Log Cabin called Outspoken, which is a sort of nonprofit where we, particularly interested in issues of LGBT issues of gender, things like that, and just informing voters about what's going on with the differences between the two candidates. And since we started in 2020, the LGBT vote for Donald Trump doubled in 2020 from 2016. It was
really
16. Yeah, it was 14% for Donald Trump in 2016 and 28% for Donald Trump in 2020. And that's according to the New York Times. They didn't want to publish that statistic, so it might even be higher. And this year, we had a massive effort to get out the vote, to inform voters what the difference is on these. I'm guessing it's going to be even much higher for Donald Trump this year for the LGBT vote.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, wait here, though. My governor, Governor Pritzker, or our governor, he says Trump hates the LGBTQ plus community. He says he hates gays. He hates lesbians. How can this be?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing if you look at what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, when they talk about LGBT rights, what are they really advocating for? They're singularly obsessed with basically the T part of it, which is where all the money is, all the big so-called gay rights groups like the Human Rights Campaign, GLAAD. They just give in gay and lesbian people. They don't care anymore. It's all about the T and the other letters of the alphabet. And the things that they advocate for are the weird, disgusting parts that no gay person I know is for. The things like this sort of pornography in school libraries, for the medicalization of children, trans surgeries on children, for women, women's spaces being violated, men entering into women's sports. This is what the Kamala Harris, what they think gay rights means and LGBT rights. And you look at Trump's record, he's got this, he's very much a libertine. He's a live and let live guy. He obviously doesn't care if you're gay or straight or whatever. That's very clear. And, and his record speaks for itself. He appointed the first openly gay member of U.S. cabinet. He appointed 2 openly gay federal judges. He's got many, many openly gay appointees. Aside from all of that, there's so many things that the media hides that Trump did, such as his effort to decriminalize homosexuality in the 69 nations where it's still legal, and about a half dozen of those where there's the death penalty. And he expanded access to HIV medication. I mean, the list is, if you go to getoutspoken.com, we track all this stuff. It's just amazing that they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they still try to paint him as this anti-gay bigot, but there's nothing he's done that's been anti-gay. In fact, it's the opposite. He truly believes in equality for all Americans, which of course is different than equity, and not treating people, giving people special treatment, but everyone the same treatment. And he's against all this insanity that we've seen infiltrate the so-called gay rights movement, which is really destructive and, quite frankly, grotesque in many of its aspects.
I mean, people have to remember Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, that's a sanctuary state for kids, minors, who want to get sex change operations without their parents' permission.
Yeah. It's Gavin Newsom wouldn't even sign that into law in California, and Tim Walz did sign that into law in California. Tim Walz also signed into law a bill removing anti-pedophile language from the state's Human Rights Act. So the Human Rights Act in Minnesota, defined that sexual orientation is, you can't discriminate based on sexual orientation. It had a line in there saying sexual orientation does not mean attraction between. We're not defining this as attraction between adults and children. There was a transgender lawmaker in Minnesota who wanted to remove that line, wrote it up, and Tim Walz signed it. This is insane stuff, and Tim Walz is creepy as all get out anyway. I mean, you just look at that guy, and I don't know. But the fact that he signed it into law, this is really freaky stuff.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you know that they did that?
No, I don't. Yeah, I did, because I remember this same trans legislator who basically got up and abruptly walked out of the house because this trans person was upset.
Oh, that's
about
right.
A bill. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, and so many people came into her defense. But I want to talk about Kamala. This video that resurfaced in of a 2018 parade with that French actor. Jussie Smollett.
You mean Jussie Smollett?
Jussie Smollett.
Hey, this is MAGA country,
Hey,
okay?
that's right.
Chicago is MAGA country. I've never, by the way, Chadwick Moore, I've never in my life seen anybody in Chicago, except for you, going to a Cubs game wearing a MAGA hat.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Never.
Listen, front row at the Cubs game.
He was
Let's get it
front row
right.
at the Cubs.
Couple
Oh, my
times.
Good for you.
A couple times, I'm not afraid. Come at me. I got my Trump chain on right now, Trump 2024 chain. But I do you think this video, what's she saying? Down with deportation.
Oh, here, I've got it here.
Up. You got the audio?
Here we go, ready to go.
Down with deportation, up with education, down with deportation, up with education, down.
Yeah, you get the idea. And then she's going to the border. I mean, she was border czar for almost 4 years now. For the first time ever, she's going to the border on Friday.
But doesn't this prove that her lies about the immigration, her being the czar and everything? Listen, she's right here on video dancing, saying down with deportation. How do you think that's going to affect this race?
She's just such an empty, hollow shell of a person. She's not even like a human being at this point. She's whatever she needs to be for anybody at any time. And I guess to an extent we expect our politicians to be that way, sadly. But with her, it's really into overdrive. And she's ran from every position she's ever had, in the past.
Right.
There's a time she was advocating for legalizing sex work, completely getting rid of the death penalty. These are just the minor ones you don't even hear about.
Yeah.
The border, of course, being the biggest one where, I saw that video, and she's in there chanting along with these protesters. And now she's pretending. How's she going to counter this? She's going to say she never agreed with that. Where does she go from here? At the same time, for her voters, does it even matter? She wasn't even never received one vote. These people do not care. They do not care about substance or policy. It's just simply, I'm a Democrat, I have to vote Democrat. They're Borgs in that sense.
So how many log cabin Republicans are there? And when you're touring, because I see you met in New Mexico, you also were in Charlotte. What kind of response are you getting?
Yeah, so there's back when we first started in 2020, there were about 36 chapters across the country, and today there are over 80, which has been amazing. They're popping up everywhere. So we just launched a chapter in New Mexico, another in North Carolina. We're getting ready to launch one in Maine, and I believe also Alaska. And the response is incredible. One of the things that we've also noticed is that a huge part of our audience is women, and it's suburban women, and in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And we sort of realized that and a lot of people who show up to our meetings, it's we have big crowds. The last time I think there was in New Mexico, maybe about 80 people were there. and Rick Grinnell was there to speak, and it was wonderful. There was what we kind of realized over the years is that a lot of the people who are finding, our content are women who are on the fence about maybe who they want to vote for. Maybe they want to vote for Trump. They lean more conservative, but they've got, a gay son, they've got a gay coworker, they have someone in their life who's, whispering in their ear like, well, Trump wants to put me into a camp, and, they feel conflicted, and they find our content and they start realizing that none of this stuff is true.
Wow. All right, Chadwick Moore. Oh, by the way, aren't you so glad our Hawkeyes beat Minnesota last weekend?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that great?
So wonderful. Just considering what their policies are up there.
Did they win the women's national championship basketball?
Who?
Hawkeyes.
Okay, stop it. Too soon. Chadwick Moore, you can follow him on X at Chadwick_Moore, New York Times bestselling author of Tucker, and he's also out on the road with Log Cabin Republicans. Chadwick, thank you, as always, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and healthcare, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
I just did it. Just took my Balance of Nature, and I could still taste the fruits and veggies. Love it. And if you ever have a sweet tooth in the afternoon, just start chewing on one of those fruit capsules, and I'm telling you, it works. You don't have to go for those cookies or candies. What? Oh, look at you. You're
Never
like,
tried
no,
that.
I'm not
Never-
doing that.
never chewed on them.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
You should try it. Because let's face it, you're not getting enough fruits and veggies on your own, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 capsules, you're getting, 6 capsules, you're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. You will love it. Your body will love it. Your mind and your heart will thank you for it. So order your fruits and veggies today by calling 800-246-8751. Use coupon code Chicago to save 35% off your first set and free shipping when you sign up as a new preferred customer. 800-246-8751. Call now or order online at balanceofnature.com and use coupon code Chicago to save 35%.
There's a lot going on in today's America, and it can get hard to turn your mind off at night. That's why conservatives have been turning to Beam's Dream. Dream has improved 15 million nights of sleep, and it can improve yours too. Their Dream formula helps you put your day to bed. Just one scoop helps you unlock a full 8 hours of sleep. It might just be the easiest thing you do all day and night. Beam's Dream Formula is the key to falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. Thanks to its proprietary ingredient stack, mornings feel refreshing, not like a groggy wake-up call. This is a simple, zero-effort addition to any nightly ritual. Simply mix Dream into hot water or milk, then froth and enjoy. Try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder for yourself and enjoy this limited-time offer of up to 35% off when you go to shopbeam.com/America and use the code America at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/America and use the code America for up to 35% off.
At Signature Bank, going the distance for business banking customers is what we do every day. We understand that business owners have a strategic mission, a drive to succeed, a plan for growth, and don't have time to wait for a bank to respond. With Signature Bank, you not only have a banking partner that has roots right here in Chicago, but our decisions are made locally too. Signature Bank knows that when you have a question or problem about your business, you want answers. You need someone who will pick up the phone or respond to your text. You need someone who is always there for you. That's Signature Bank. We are a team that wants to get to know you and your business.
Want to be Signature Bank's next success story? Give us a call today at 773-467-5630 or visit us online at signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Success. It's discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel. It's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Chicago needs election judges for the November 5th presidential election. You must be a U.S. citizen and a registered voter in Cook County, and you can earn anywhere from $170 to $230 for your service. Are you bilingual in Spanish, Chinese, Hindi, Polish, Korean, or Tagalog? The Chicago Board of Elections definitely needs your help. Go to pollworker.chicagoelections.gov to learn more and apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay. My big announcement is that I'm going to start reading the Bible, and I want to share with you a passage today because in the next few days might get a little real around here. Do not fear what you are about to suffer, which is so sad in this day and age. It's 2024, for God's sakes. Behold, that's not in the passage.
I'll say, what is that? I know the scripture you had.
Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. That's Revelations 2:10.
Uh-oh.
So I want to thank you for being here.
We've been together since
Friday. I want to thank you. I don't know.
We've been together since Friday.
What do you mean we've been? Oh, yeah, Friday,
Saturday, Miss Sunday.
Miss Sunday, but we talked.
Yeah, Monday,
Tuesday. I mean, we're going to have Amy J. withdrawals, but I'm sure you'll be listening tomorrow on Friday.
Oh, I will definitely be listening tomorrow morning.
You'll always be listening. And then your show is this Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Who are you going to have on?
I'm going to have a national. That's why I didn't touch it with Charles Thomas was on. I'm going to have a national security analyst talking about that BRICS situation in Russia, and a couple of judges who are running for office in Lake County, I believe.
Okay.
So.
All right. And you're 4 to 7, Black and White Radio.
4 to 7 p.m. Black and White Radio. Get the merch at blackandwhiteradio.com.
Okay. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, and Quinn McCarthy, our executive producer. Couldn't do it without them. And thanks to all of you for listening. God bless. Have a great day. It's sunny out. Enjoy it while you can. And the high will be in the mid-70s. Now let's head into that newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
CPD is investigating a Little Italy murder. The CPS CEO is refusing to resign. Thornton Township trustees continue to clash with Tiffany Henyard. Bellinger and the Cubs blow out the Phillies. White Sox beat the Angels. NHL preseason starts tonight. Blackhawks hosting the Red Wings. WIND Chicago News Time, 9.
Coverage, communication, and coordination. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. A Senate Homeland Security report finds all were lacking at the rally in Pennsylvania where former President Trump was shot in July. It finds no one was clearly in charge. Requests for additional Secret Service assets were denied, and Trump should have been